Christ.
That's that. Yeah.
Wow. That's
How's everybody doing tonight?
That's a lot better.
No one has their names. We're just like,
Nobody
fuck it,
gets
we'll
a
figure
name
it out.
today. That's
Hold on,
not
let
the
Let's
Toombs
around
work.
their
Okay,
face.
let Toombs make all the names, and then we're gonna all leave the call and come back. Okay?
Nope, not doing that.
Oh.
We're doing no names today. This is the anonymous Alright Pie. Who's got that
We're not doing
loud
names, what the
music
fuck?
playing? What is that?
No, people will figure it out. People do it like you did in 4th grade, where you had to say
What
your
is
name, like at the first day of school
happening?
before you spoke. Just be like, my name's Harrison, and
My
this is what
favorite
I
color
think.
is green.
Somebody
My
have
name
their
is
TV
Boris
on?
Kachakakov.
Hey, where's the picture of Monty sleeping, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Let's forget it. Let's move on.
Somebody go get that. I can't talk in Twitch chat right now, so.
That should be. Oh, you're still banned?
Banned
Yeah.
from like
That's
Twitch.
what
I
you
got
fucking
banned
get
from
for
Twitch.
spamming
Are
my
you
channel.
drinking already?
What?
Are you drinking already?
It's
Like,
just water. Leave me alone.
Wait,
I don't
what
have a
happened
problem.
to you? You got banned from Twitch chat?
Yeah.
How do
Yeah,
you
he
get
was-
banned from your own Twitch chat?
No,
It's
I
an
got
auto
banned from
ban.
all of Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Like auto
Because
ban
he
from
was
all of
spamming
Twitch.
my channel, so a bot like auto banned him from Twitch for like 12 hours or something. or-
Yeah, 8 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So why
That's
don't you
up.
just not
That should be
spam
done
me?
by
Tim?
now, man. When did you start spamming the
That's
channel?
not the solution. You have to make a
Holy
different
shit.
account.
Yeah, I just have to make a bunch of different accounts.
There's
There you
so
go.
many people in here.
This is
Not a-
scaring
it's
me.
not enough. Let's bring more in.
I'm
All right.
scared.
So we need to make the Reddit posts.
Okay,
Mm.
make
Well,
a Reddit post. Anyway,
That's
speaking of Reddit, let's talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
Let's jump into that. Winter, you got a story about that, right?
all right. Let me bring up the appropriate links then. Maybe you want to do introduction so I can get the appropriate links here.
Are we doing introductions? I thought
Are
we
we
were
doing
just...
introduction? We have a
Might as well
clusterfuck
do
of people in
introductions.
here.
There are
Yes,
too
I
many
think.
people. Nobody's gonna keep anybody straight. I mean, I
I'm
can.
the bottom
Well,
right.
I'm not that attracted to you two.
Okay, alright, stop. I got an idea. We start off with Tumescent, then we go to Winter, then we go
She's
to.
doing it for us right now. Or he.
I'm
Puck,
sorry.
What should I call you?
Then we go to Ron, which is
No, the
Fox.
casters have no idea. I
Just
can't
call
call
me
you Puck.
Puck.
There
Then
you go.
there's some random face thing that's
That's
white.
filter. That's filter.
That's Mel.
Then we go
it's
to
me
Filter.
because there's too many people with webcams.
Then we go to Good Luck Have Fun shirt. Then we go to Stripe
That's-
shirt.
Oh, wow,
Ryan,
Ivory.
Jehoon, I'm Phoenix. Then we got Montezuma.
Then we go
and
to
then
the
we
big
got
microphone guy. Then we go
Broom
to
Sweeper.
Montezuma, right? Am I
Yeah.
right? Yes!
Yes.
Good for you,
Then-
Monty. For you.
Haven't you been banned yet?
We go to blue shirt.
You're banned in his chat, aren't you, Monty?
I'm banned. I'm banned in everybody's chat. Puck banned me. I'm sure.
I highly doubt it. I don't ban many people.
I'll get on that.
I'm sorry if I don't know your names, people. It's just I never see your faces. I'm sure I know
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
you.
understandable.
It's K-Puck, I still love you.
And then bottom right is Broom Sweeper.
Correct.
He's a.
That's actually a webcam. That's not a photo.
Yeah. I believe he moves every now and again.
I'm frozen. My shit's all. I'm on hook on the internet right now. It's not working too
That's
well.
not a photo. That is a webcam.
Good
so
old,
serious.
good old internet.
Broom
hotel.
Sweeper looks like he's going to kill everybody.
He does.
It looks like he
I
already
kinda
did.
got
and
that
just waiting
impression.
for us to realize it.
I'm
Yeah.
done with your shit,
It's like
guys.
I've poisoned you 4 hours ago.
He doesn't even change his emotions at all.
He's a robot.
Moving. You should see me. I'm dancing around right now. You guys can't see it. It's like I'm literally in like the shittiest hotel internet right now.
There
There
you
you
go.
are.
You've got like the same picture as Doomby does.
Yeah.
Where he just looks super angry when it freezes.
There we are. You see my arms
There we
moving?
go.
There we
A
go.
little bit.
I feel like somebody earlier asked if anybody else had tattoos, but I see Broom Sweeper does. So
Yeah. I
that
got a
was my
few.
little
There's
question.
that.
Hey, Toom, what number is this for SMP?
4.
4.
All right,
Four?
gotcha.
You've been on all 4.
That doesn't mean he was counting.
Yeah, I'm not
He
counting.
is a Protoss player, and you know there is that.
True.
Well, that was very general.
Just because you never just look at the rest of the map, you just stare at your base the whole time. Because why look at the rest of the map? I don't need to.
And how
Aaron.
would he die to Widowmines?
Yeah.
Wait,
What
No,
is
you
he
can do that on
looking
a
at?
mini map. You're just like, all right, where's the
He
mineral
still
line?
dies to
There.
Widow
He
Mines.
dies to Widow Mines. He has no idea. Like it's
I
probably
got
like,
Widow
looking-
Mines with
I can bring up
filter
the
does
replays, like no problem.
his camera is probably on.
You can watch the
Whoa,
reaction
whoa,
time of
whoa.
Imarine as like
Don't
the
need to bring
second
it
time
up.
the Widow Mines go up is when he notices them.
I have a question. Why was the anonymous account brought up?
Oh, that's a
What?
that's a mess. That's a mess.
No, I know who it is. I'm just curious to why it was brought up.
Wait, who is it? Type it in
Hey.
Skype chat.
It's
Type it so no one else will know, and they'll be wanting.
Wait,
to
how do you?
Okay.
How do you
What are we
Tell me
talking about?
tell me the controversy behind it though.
Wait, okay, so there's this guy on Twitch named NanoCloud, and he says
boy.
that he's top 16 GM Terran, and he says
Oh.
that's his account.
Why is he even modding your stream to Messent?
I don't know. Should he not be?
He's kind of a douchebag.
Wait, is
They-
NanoCloud not GM?
I highly doubt it.
We've seen the
We've
account.
Seen
but
him on that
we don't
account.
know- We don't know if
That's
it's
the thing.
his. We
Maybe
just know
he
that he has
leveled it for
access
him.
to it.
It's very easy for someone just to level an account. People do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm saying someone leveled it for
He
him.
probably paid Neeb to level his account.
Change the name.
Well, there's the. I mean, all right.
Oh, no,
But all I ever see him do is troll.
Yeah, well,
It's-
he brags. I mean, last season back in Wings, the last season, he had a Protoss GM account, and if you looked at his match history, I actually saw it live. He beat Minigun, Desro. I mean, so he
Well,
went
that
from Protoss
We'll
GM.
say that
to,
account beat Minigun and Desro.
Yeah, whoever that
Yeah,
Protoss.
no, he's not GM. He's just a sick troll that pays people to level his account.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
I mean, it could have just been. It even could have been like, let's say there's like In Control had an account and then he just disregarded it. I mean, obviously it's not him, but just like had an account and he was just like, all right, I'm gonna get a different account or whoever it happened to be, and the kid just like got access to it, like bought it, changed the name, like, oh cool, now I'm in GM. Like, just starts fucking trolling around. I mean, even if you can stay in that that division or that like stay in GM,
You can stay
Still-
in GM as
still
long as the
fucking
season's
fuck
open, as long as you.
I know him in real life. I mean, he's a nice guy, but
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a really nice guy. He does troll, but I thought he was GM this whole fucking time, so now I feel kind of dumb. Because he showed me replays, and he even, like, changed his clan tag to, like, Nano on the GM ladder, so I thought it was him this whole time.
crazy.
So that is not that
Alright.
important. Besides some douchebag in chat, like. in
Alright,
the
by the
long
way-
run,
I can list
Other-
off everybody for the people that just joined for Saturday Night Pie, starting from top left to top right. We've got Tumessa, obviously, and then we've got Winter right next to him. We've got Fox. And then we've got the picture of the Skype face is actually Filter SC. He's actually
No,
doesn't have the
that's
webcam right
that's
now.
not his real name. He's just the face guy. He
He's
doesn't
the
have a
face
name.
guy.
Wow.
All right, and then we've
what's
got
his face?
on the spot.
so we got Puck in here. He's the Fox that you see there, or the
It's not a
He's the
fox.
fox.
excuse me,
He's
excuse me. What
the
is
fox.
It's a red panda.
Excuse-
Jesus.
Red Panda?
What?
Thank you. That's what I meant to say.
Listen,
Red
why
Panda.
would-
Red Panda.
Make
My
that
mistake. Red
happen.
Panda. Bottom left, we've got Imarine, we got Jehun, got me, Phoenix SD, then we've got Montasumo, and
And he's
we've got-
awake. He's awake.
And he's awake.
He is awake.
So yeah, that's the order.
And broom
So-
sweep.
Who's
Yeah, I
the guy
said Broom
to
Sweep.
Broom
Who's the
sweep.
guy to the left? I
So
think-
I'm Marine and Tumesum Pai posted on Twitter. I'm downvoting that.
I'm
Wait,
downloading the
You can
Twitter.
downvote Twitter now.
On
I hate
Twitter,
you
on
so
Reddit.
much. I'm gonna downvote your Twitter posts.
What I'm gonna do is
That
I'm
would
gonna
make
friend
Twitter
you on Reddit,
so
and then I'm gonna
shitty. Like, if
follow
you could
every
downvote
post you
people's
ever
tweets.
make and downvote it
Oh man.
from here until forever.
Just make 100 accounts, follow them, and then when they have like 300 followers, just leave, and suddenly they drop 100 followers, and they're really depressed. I think that would actually hurt most people the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I have 100 less followers now.
but
I guess
think
people hate me.
when you get new followers, don't you click on them to see like how many, like if they're a real person? Because I know I do.
Oh, am I
Like,
supposed to do that?
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
I just
them.
assume everybody who follows me on Twitter is the best person ever. So
So there's
Twitter
no
doesn't
bots.
touch Magic
Well,
StarCraft
that's not
yet.
possible because I don't have you followed. So
Maybe
Well,
you're
there's a way to
lying to
fix
yourself a little bit right now.
So last night, right, we played Macro Micro. We were playing with
oh,
Quanic Masan and Quanic Apocalypse.
That was
And,
pretty awesome.
you know, I never really respected the Terran race, especially after Widow Mines were introduced. You know, it's kind of an easy race, let's say, but so I was playing the micro part, and Apocalypse was playing the macro part. And, I mean, it was just so impressive. Like, it's so humbling to see a person that good, like, just macro and just, like, give you shit. Like, he's just sending out tons of units at you, and he's like, okay. He's like, okay, you have 3 siege tanks now. Now you can go do something with them. I'm like, should I, like, attack? He's like, yeah, do whatever. Yeah, go for it.
Just go,
I'm
go,
like,
go, go.
Okay.
go siege up.
I
over
wanted
there.
to
You're
get-
like,
I
okay.
wanted to
Play
get
with
pop-
them.
He's on creep. He's like, all right, let's do it.
I wanted to get Puck in there last night because, you know, me seeing a Terran player, like, I play Protoss, So I was super impressed with that. Like it was just like it just completely changed my whole outlook on it.
Apocalypse.
But seeing
is
a player like
ridiculous.
Puck that plays my same race doing that, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like,
That's
I
racist.
think
Skill
the
difference
filter
is-
was playing
Hey, Puck.
Terran.
Puck, can I ask you a question?
Hi.
What's going on with you and Gosu user?
Oh.
I've seen a lot of BM there.
Because okay, this is what happened.
Where's my
He
pitchfork?
did the most hypocritical thing I've ever seen anyone do. Well, not entirely true, but it was pretty hypocritical of him. What happened was he claimed that he changed his ways, that he wasn't BM anymore, and he was giving me shit because I wouldn't like message him in game, and he was like calling me out for that. And then I play him in Acer Story Cup or whatever, and I completely destroy him. And he just rage quits, doesn't say a single thing. So I'm just like, what the fuck? But no, he like, the reason that I really don't like him is because whenever he's winning, he'll start complaining about imbalance. And that just really ticks me off when people do that. Like if they're losing, it's one thing, but if they're winning and doing it, they're just a piece of shit in general.
Yeah.
I'm so good to be able to beat you with this race against your race. Yeah, that is kind of. That's
Isn't that
actually a
all
really
Inter does?
kind of a.
Like,
Okay.
Isn't that all?
Just saying.
So, Tube, do we have a topic for tonight, or are we just kind of winging it?
Freestyle.
Well, we were waiting for Winter's story, and then
Oh, were we still doing that?
I thought
Alright.
so. I don't know. Like,
Okay,
I thought
okay,
that was
I
the
can-
only topic that we really.
I mean, Reddit usually likes me, so it's okay. But we have. I guess we can have that topic as a topic. So, if we're. Okay, a couple days ago, I made one of the stream posts that I make all the time. If you've ever watched my stream, you know how I kind of, for lack of a better term, whore out Reddit. So I can get feedback and comments to improve my stream, is the way I'm going to phrase that. One person, this was one person, out of hundreds of upvotes, one person sent to the admins saying, without watching my stream, without like doing anything else, just based on the amount of upvotes I got, because people like to support me for some reason. I can't explain that. But he sent it to the admins, and within about 30 minutes of him sending, like putting a comment saying, I sent to the admins something about his posts. I think he's making a lot of like different accounts or something like that to upvote it. So within 30 minutes of that, I was banned from Reddit.
Oh boy.
Stealth banned, by the way. Not like sent you an email, your account is now banned. I could still see my posts. I could still comment and make new posts, but no one else can see them. And if you clicked on my account, it did not exist.
Wow.
So, the tough part was that effectively one person was able to undermine hundreds of people who were interested in supporting the post or supporting me or something like that. And I don't know. I guess because
Do you know-
it's gonna sound like a rant. What?
Do you know the admin who did it?
Oh yeah, okay, I can link in the chat. I'll link in the chat right now. One of the more upstanding comments by this guy. His username is Fumcacial. Yep. So,
Facial?
yeah, very
Some use
quality
like
user.
Canadian audio, by the way.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
that.
I'll pop him.
Let's see if I can bring up the post here. Now, this post is a few days old. This is the post I got banned for, but just for anyone who wants context, I guess. Now that we have, there we go. There's the post, and there's a permalink to like his thread where he talks about what he did. And at some point, he says, "I've contacted the admins," and a few minutes after that, I'm banned from Reddit. So that's kind of what happened. I don't want to make this sound like I'm ranting that someone didn't like me on Reddit. I think a better discussion would be about. I don't want this to devolve into like, yeah, I can't get over that part. But I kind of want to think about. Is there any way to improve the Reddit community, or is it just better to pretty much ignore it in general? Because there are so many like subreddits, like All Things Terran, Protoss Zerg, Cast It, where the smaller subreddits. I know sometimes like if people have something out for you, it's going to be tough to actually make anything happen on Reddit. Maybe r/StarCraft is becoming too much. Well, everybody's been complaining about that for a while. TMZ like,
That's
I
a
guess.
clusterfuck.
It's a clusterfuck indeed. Is there any rules or anything that anyone would suggest to?
Hey, Brooms, we're getting like the whole basketball game, dude.
All right, sorry.
Assuming it's basketball. But is there
I don't know
anything
if-
that anyone would suggest?
There we go.
to- If you
Soft
had an
now.
option, what would you change? I think because I don't want
I-
to sound
you can't-
I'm complaining about
You
getting
can't
banned.
change the community because it's not like one single person. I mean, there's always going to be immature people inside a community. And I think StarCraft in general, like if you compare StarCraft to League of Legends or Call of Duty, I think our community is pretty tame compared to others. So I think we have it pretty good.
It's the rule of Reddit is that the bigger a community or any really like any community website is the bigger the actual community that you're participating in gets, the more retarded the comments are going to get because there are so many different voices, but the more reasonable ones tend to be the minority, and so the most ridiculous comments like all that in control hate, all that stuff that people think is funny but is actually really retarded gets upvoted to the top, and the more reasonable stuff kind of sticks down to the bottom. The bigger it happens every time. That's why I really like the all things subreddits, like all things turn, all things are, all things protest, is because that's where actual discussion is happening, and it's actually really cool, and it's still small, so it's still good.
So I can give you guys a different perspective just from like my job dealing with. I mean, obviously, you got gamers and whatnot, but there's also like with soccer, you got your fans and your people that think they know what they're talking about and they're gonna voice their opinion. It's almost like in a sense they give it the term armchair analysis, right? So like people are gonna bash on something that's terrible, and then they're gonna praise you on your good things. Like there's a buddy I know who they think is like probably the dirtiest soccer player in the world, and this is completely off topic, but this with soccer, but he's like the nicest kid in the world, and people think he's the biggest dick. So people are gonna have their opinions because they're not informed enough, and they don't know what the logistics are or what goes in the day in and day out. So they just assume one thing. And I think that's what's happening with your StarCraft community, like on Reddit, where people really aren't very informed. They read what Thrashers is typing and whatnot. They don't know firsthand experience, so they're learning from what people are saying. So like it's like press half the press don't know what they're talking about, and they just do it just to stir controversy because that's what sells. So that's the whole point of it. Is that, in my opinion, is why people freak out and bash and whatnot. But that's the main reason. It's just to stir controversy and get people to comment and argue and bash on people. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
So,
when
like-
you're in front of a keyboard, like,
It's
your
easy to
inner
talk
troll
shit.
comes out. Yeah,
exactly, it's easy to talk shit behind a keyboard. But let me
Which is
tell you,
ironic
when
in this
one
case.
person, if someone's bashing them, say in control, for example, on a keyboard, when they go up to him and see him in MLG, they're going up and ask an autograph for his picture and be the nicest dude ever because
Yeah.
they're too big of pussies. to
Toombs,
talk
I'm
shit
gonna
in front of
fight
them.
you at MLG.
You know what I mean? Like Toomey, like Pi, like if you go to MLG and someone sees you, they're not gonna bash you.
Oh,
They're
no,
gonna
not
come
at
up
all.
and be like,
No.
hey man, you're super entertaining in your stream, but behind a keyboard they're gonna talk shit, and that's just because
Exactly.
no one knows who they are, and they're probably immature, and they don't have the balls to they say to your face. Is basically what no one.
Because they're
no
all
one has-
14-year-olds who are talking
Yeah.
this trash.
No one has come up. I've had plenty of people bash me, and not one person has come up to me and said you're a shit soccer player. So that's my 2 cents on that whole thing.
I completely agree. Like, even when I went to MLG, we were hanging out with Jeff, and people would come up, and there was this one kid that came up, and he was just shaking. Like, he was so nervous to talk to him. And it's like, that's the community. It's kids that play the game, and then they go watch a stream and see the person that is streaming. They're like, oh, this is cool. Like, I get to watch this guy play. Fuck this guy. I'm going to, like, mess with him, or I'm going to do whatever. Or they're going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'll donate money because I really like the way he streams, or I like him playing the game. And then they actually get to meet him in real life, and they all come back to the same place, which is, oh, my God, I'm starstruck. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to say hi and get his autograph because I don't know what's going to happen if I, like, do what I usually do behind the keyboard. I'm scared. So, completely agree.
Can I ask you guys a
Especially
question?
with in control.
In control's in control. That no one's gonna try to mess with him. But
Hey, bench pressure your house.
what's the feeling of someone coming up to you and talking to you and knowing who you are and you don't know? I mean, it happens to me all the time because I'm really tall and everyone remembers me. But I think it's a little bit of a different feeling when someone's coming up to you and being like, "Hey, I know you from your stream. You're so cool." Like, what's that like?
It's fun.
Probably have to ask Puck.
I
Yeah, I have
literally
no idea.
signed. I literally got to sign autographs before I was like known. Like even when I had like only up to like 40 viewers when I went to Anaheim, I signed at least 4 or 6 autographs there, and I was just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, dude,
had
but
no
that was
results. Almost had nothing to me, and then
That was last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. That was when your parents were there, and like we were all standing behind you. You had a huge crowd there, man. Like people
Yeah.
were just watching you. They saw the crowd, and I was like, they're like, "Who is this?" Like, oh, it's Puck. They're like, "Oh, okay, I've seen his
Puck.
stream before." Like no, they actually knew who it was. Like even if
I
they
was-
didn't follow, or even if they didn't like watch the stream all the time, they still
Yeah.
knew.
I was so BM back then.
Dude, it was so funny, man. I was standing there, and your mom and your dad were standing next to me, and we're watching you play the game over your shoulder. You're playing to Muslim, and it was back on. I don't remember what the map was. I can't remember what it was called. But you're sitting there, and you're probably 11, 12 minutes into the game, and the Muslim is just beast mode the entire time. And I remember this was one of the games you barely lost. And it's like 11 minutes into the game, and your mom looks at me, and she goes, "Is he doing okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's doing okay," because you had just held a big attack. And she goes, "Is he getting cheesed?" I was like, 11 minutes into the... No, he's not. He's doing well. He's doing well.
Puck, have your parents started taking it like a little bit more of an interest? Like, do they watch your stuff? Do they like know what's
Yeah.
happening now, or is it like?
They always have. They've been pretty
Yeah, dude, you got some cool parents.
supportive about it. So
Nice. I don't think my parents would be the same way. I think my
yeah, a
parents
lot of
are really
people's
mad.
parents aren't too happy with their kids.
As long as
People are. I just want to throw this out about the Reddit thing too. Like a lot of people just feed it, like really easily. Like even Winter, like mentioning on a stream and getting like a little bit mad and ranty about it. Like it just feeds people to do it again. So like if he gets unbanned or something, then people are they're just gonna try to go after you again, right? It's like Toombs in his chat when he gets mad
Come
and he
at me,
starts
bro.
yelling at everybody, right? And like banning
Toombs
people
gets
off.
mad,
Like more
he gets, like,
people
200
are gonna want to
viewers.
go after him. Whereas
Yeah,
you have like the reverse, where you have somebody like Monty who, like, he doesn't care. His chat will like trash him all the time and stuff, but his chat by and large is a lot less like aggressive in terms of trolling, right? Because he's not like, you can come in Monty's chat and be like, "Oh, you're trash," and he's like, he just laughs about it and makes a joke. Toombs is like, "Oh, you're fucking banned. Like, never come back." Right?
Welcome to Disneyland. Just fucking walk. Yeah.
And the same thing applies to Reddit. And there's a. I don't think Reddit's that bad. Reddit exposes a lot of people that probably need the exposure, but once you kind of get to like low mid tier, like everybody here except for Puck is probably like low mid tier in terms of popularity. We're not gonna. People aren't on Reddit aren't interested in us because we're not big enough, like in Control and Apollo, to make a post and have it be popular because of who we are. And at the same time, most people in StarCraft probably have a general idea, or have heard heard the name Filter SC, or by now probably heard the name Toombs. So it's not like when we're posting something for content we've created or whatever. Like there's a lot of people that are just like, they're not interested because we're not big. They're just gonna download it and stuff like
so
that.
of course,
So when you
like,
kind of get to like that mid tier, like if you keep posting like, "Hey, I'm doing this stream, I'm doing this," like people are just getting tired of going to the new and seeing like the same old guy trying to drum up another 5 or 10 viewers, and it'll just keep getting downvoted over and over. Like you really can't go to the quote unquote Reddit well very often. Like I never post anything to Reddit unless like I have something that I really want to get popular or get upvoted or something, and I haven't posted anything there in a long time. Just because for me, like I starting to kind of understand how it works. Or people are gonna just like, if I went and posted like, "Hey, I'm doing this," it would get downvoted to oblivion. Like this is my Terran episode number 14. Go check it out, guys. It would just get super downvoted, right? Because like at this point, everybody knows about my Terran series that is going to be interested. But if I were to go and post to Reddit, like, "Hey, this is the first episode of my Protoss series, like, let me know what you guys think," that would probably get upvoted pretty heavily.
I think too another thing like dealing with Reddit, and I've talked with you to me about it, is like like people are gonna hate on you, and like you said, like Filter said, you fuel it a little bit. It's just about having thick skin. I think, and I've had people come into mine, and I don't have tons of viewers, but I had people come in and they just like rip on me for like I had some kid ask me how much money I made, right? And I asked him, I said, "How much money do you make?" And he said, "None." I said, "Well, then don't ask me my question." You know what I mean? So like I kind of play back at them, like, and I kind of troll back at them, and then they're real quiet and they don't know what to do. So I think if you play with them and like go after them a little bit, then they're kind of like, "Oh, well, I can't really troll this dude." So that's how I handle it, and I think it's funny. And I actually encourage trolling because I have enough quips that I can come back at them, and they won't do it anymore. So
Like
that's
Just
one
make
way
sure
I
it's
like
not
to do it.
passive aggressive. Like
the whole Fap Lord thing, like
Like,
Fap Lord got famous because he pissed Tombs off, right? That's why people.
How
know
about
who
we
Fap
not
Lord
talk
is.
about Fap Lord like at all?
No,
How
no,
about-
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
it's
mention it
fine.
real quick. It's because he got famous essentially because he pissed Tombs off. Tombs like, I'm never looking at that video, and then it became about Fap Lord, right? And everybody's like, that's where the attention was going. It was about Fap Lord. It wasn't about Tombs. But if Tombs had been like, all right, yeah, well, let's take a look at this, and just threw the video up in his stream and laughed about it, and been like, yeah, no man, that's what happens every time I play Zerg. That's what happens to me. That's how mad I get. All of a
Wait,
sudden,
so-
that video is not about Fap Lord anymore. It's about Tombs.
Tombs, what did I tell you, dude?
And it
Chat.
makes it about Tombs. Now, like, that's easier said than done because it's hard to
Well, I spoke with him about it.
it's
'cause
hard
I
to
was
have
talk-
that
Well,
skin, right? But-
I was talking with him about it, and I was like, "Have you seen the video?" And he said no. And he said all I did was read the comments. And I was like, "Well, first of all, don't do that. Don't read the comments." I said, "Watch the video." I said, and then he was starting this Saturday Night Pie thing, and he was talking about it. I said, "You know what you should do? Is you should play the video and just like kind of like joke on yourself a little bit about it, and everyone will think it's funny, and it'll like die down, and then it'll like dude won't get famous, but Toomey could kind of use it to his advantage. And any sense they say is like any kind of publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? So like someone took the effort to make that video. You know what I'm saying? Which means that he obviously
Let's
Yeah.
let's be honest here, Tomb. Did it help or hurt your viewers?
I didn't really change it. I mean, it was a small
Oh,
thing.
dude.
No, listen.
I think it went up, bro.
Hold on.
Tumescent.
Chill out.
Everyone just stop. Everyone just stop. Tumescent, you averaged about 100 to 150 viewers before all of
Right.
that.
And I
Right?
still average 100 to 150
But
viewers.
now
There
you
you go.
have reached points to where you achieve up to 300, 400
When I'm-
easily.
Yeah, when I'm on the front page of
Streaming-
Twitch.
You've been streaming
But
for
no, I'm on the
hour-
front page of Twitch.
Just
though.
stop. Let me finish. You've been
Okay.
streaming for 1 hour, and you already have 163 viewers.
Okay.
Give it another hour, that's going to be about 270 viewers. And you average about 200, at least 200 viewers nowadays.
I do not
That,
average two.
that
I
he
just.
Well, hold
No,
on.
no,
hold
listen,
on. The
hold
thing
on,
about
hold
that
on.
is he's on the
I-
front page of Twitch. So
I've been
he gets,
applying for partners, so I know exactly what my average is. I'm not averaging 200. I promise you that I'm not averaging 200 right now.
Well,
But
I mean,
then-
Twitch kind of looks at your. I mean, what is the average on Twitch? What does it look at when in terms of average? Does it give you like a recent average, or does it give you like all-time average?
Yeah,
It shows
exactly.
both. But it's okay.
They go by month. This happened about halfway into April or May, right?
Right.
So before that, you still have all of the numbers before that involved with that month's average. And they probably didn't take it all of April's average. They probably took it all of March's average because that's your most recent full month. So if you go again, say after this month, and you try to apply for a partnership, you might get denied because they like to have at least 400 now. But you would at least have a better chance of it if you get recommended by someone else that's like an owner of a team. It's a lot easier. Because for me, when I got partnered with Twitch, I only was averaging 100 viewers. But since I had connections, they just gave it to me.
Well, like in Tomb's case, like you don't even need to bother applying for partnership because with like 200 viewers, you're not going to make like ad revenue at all.
Yeah.
Really,
Really not.
It's
it doesn't matter.
subscribers.
And you already like you have full transcode. You have more transcode than I do. You probably have more transcode than Puck does. And you get on the front page and you get all the Twitch promotion. Like for partnership doesn't mean anything for you right now. If you
It's
start
the
getting up to 400 or
subscribers and the
500
quality
viewers,
options,
it would be
really.
important. Well, subscribers not even like that's not even an issue till you're getting like 1,000, 2,000 viewers.
So here's March. I have about 200.
That's your max.
That's your max.
Well, think about this,
Right.
James. At your end of stream, your Q&A, right?
So
I think that says a
triples
lot.
your-
this
yeah.
was the first day that I hit front page Twitch right here.
It's helpful.
You also got to look at how long you are streaming per each day as well. So you should bring up another tab and show your hours streamed.
I'm not gonna go into too much of my statistics on stream, but
It's not that important. The concept is here. But
Well,
I
like,
mean,
like-
basically all I'm saying is like the anger you get and the more you let trolls pick at you, the worse you're gonna make it. You're gonna make
Oh,
it
yeah.
about whoever's trolling and give them the publicity, not yourself.
well,
Right?
yeah, that's like
That's
I don't know.
like the last thing you want to do is be a target that's easy to get to.
I don't know if there are many people in the chat right now who participate in my chat frequently, but I'm not like saying this to brag or anything, but there's on consistent occasion that people call my chat like probably the most manner on Twitch in most of StarCraft because I never, pretty much rule one, I know a lot of people have this rule, is don't be a dick in my chat, but I take that completely literally. And since I never rage, there's no opportunities for trolling. But I think that's not the standard everybody wants to keep. It's not the standard like everyone has to have the most manner chat. Sometimes it's fun to have people trolling each other, just hanging out in the chat. It just comes down to, as soon as it becomes a negative influence, like, if they can take that and post it to Reddit and be like, look at how angry this guy is, he's just a terrible person, then, of course, that crosses a different line from, LOL, I troll you, noob, or something like that in the chat, or, how much do you lift, or possibly, when are your balls dropping? I get
But
if
that every
you
once in a while.
If you don't feed
Might-
it,
yeah, but-
if you don't feed it,
Yeah.
it's not going to continue.
Yeah, it's
People
my
like
opinion.
here's I'll
not
give you an
a bad
example.
thing, necessarily.
I'll give you a perfect example of like two different approaches. So I got sniped by a guy the other day who stream snipes me and then he does like an 8-8 Reaper or whatever to me. And I completely messed up my micro and I lost it like 5 or 6 minutes after the Reapers came in. I lost the game. Anyway, the guy at the start of the game linked his like stream, but he wasn't streaming. And after the game, he comes into my stream chat and he's like, "So how was that?" I'm like, "You 8-8 Reapered me. That's it." And I was already queuing for the next game. Like I didn't bother watching the replay or getting mad
How
because it really doesn't matter, right? And he's like, "Well, like, are you mad?" And it's like, "No, I don't really care." And he's like, "How am I not banned from your chat?" It's like, "Because you haven't done anything. You just came into my chat after you played a game. Like, why would I ban you?" And I was mad about it, but I'm not gonna like start yelling at this guy because there's no point, right?
So you're
then
saying
he,
less
like-
bans?
He literally like he said about 4 things and then
Probably
left because there was no like my chat wasn't even like nobody was going after him because like whatever you stream tried me, you know, like when
Yeah,
that
that's the
comes around
best-
again,
that's the
like
best way to do it. It's
is he gonna
indifference.
come back and try to stream snipe me again? Of course not. Like doesn't matter. He gained nothing. Like he probably hurt himself more than anything because nobody's gonna go watch his stream from my chat even though he linked it and I didn't care. I didn't ban him. I let him link his stream. Why would I care, right? But nobody that watches me is going to go over to him because all he did was stream snipe me and then try to BM in my chat after, and like nobody cares.
Was
like,
it a
big
Dana
deal.
that did it?
Yeah, it was a Dana.
Wait, hold on,
Right.
hold on.
A Dana
Clean
is
on-
a
No,
stream
yeah,
sniper.
no, it was a
And
Dana.
then
It's
he's
like-
always defended that he's never stream sniped. Like he's like, I don't stream snipe, but he stream sniped me like 6
okay,
times in one
let me
stream.
put it this way: maybe he didn't stream snipe, but at the start, like he knew who I was and stuff like that at the start of the stream, and he came into my stream chat after, and was trying to BM, and it literally went, "Oh well, don't care," and he
Just let
he
it go.
linked his stream
Just let it
stuff,
go.
right?
The thing
People are gonna
about-
be
And
stupid.
nobody cares.
I don't
But
know.
the flip side of that is when Toombs gets stream sniped, he gets super angry,
Yeah.
even to the point where I would probably want to go check out the other guy's perspective. And I like
Alright,
Toombs is my guy, right? But if you're getting like that mad and stuff, like you just invite people to do it more and more.
Oh,
and then
certainly.
the flip side is, rather than my stream being about like, let's take the Adina situation, right? As soon as like he's done talking and he's had his like 4 sentences and nobody's reacted, like my stream is still about me, and my viewers are there to watch me. It has nothing to do with him. Nobody cares. There's no reason or incentive for anybody to watch him. Whereas the flip side is, if you tee off on somebody or whatever, then you're just gonna make it worse, right? And you're gonna give people incentive. You make it about Adina instead of about yourself and about your stream.
It's
You
definitely
just give
hard to
that
do
to
that though. Like it's really hard to consistently 100% of the time keep a straight face, not BM anyone.
You don't have
not
to. You don't
rage
have
at
to keep
all.
a straight face. It's not about that.
No,
It's
I-
about-
Gotta
like, I
laugh
don't know,
about
'cause-
it.
No, if they
No,
can
I-
tell
I-
that you're physically
Oh,
mad, it's pretty hard to not ban them.
Well, think about
Yeah,
it
but
this
if you
way.
give
No,
They
I
them
like
think
being
the
that
right thing
way.
to do is just
Watch
to
the
not
replay.
get mad about it, not to
There
hide
was
that you're
literally
mad.
no replay. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit mad.
Encourage it.
Like I said, it was
people-
lame that he
people
did
want
it.
to watch you get mad. You should take that as a compliment. If people
Alright.
care enough to actually want to make you mad, then you're doing something right.
No, it's because they think it's entertaining that when you're mad, like if you're gonna give. But it's not
Exactly.
about. It's but it's not
Like, I don't know
about.
why people
It's
are
not about
banning
not
Adina.
getting
I don't
mad
even
and
know
keeping a
what's
straight
happening.
face. It's very hard not to get mad. The key is just to not react to people poking at you. If you can be as mad as you want. You can be like fuck Protoss, fuck Sir. But then when like the people in your chat who are not like genuinely curious or just being an asshole are being like they're trying to poke you, is just to not give them anything and to not go to like, well, fuck you, dude, or whatever your name is. 1 2 3 5 7 9 guy. Just
Well, like
you know,
even then, at the end of the day, like I wasn't even mad that Adina sniped me or beat me or whatever, or did like an 8-8 Reaper. I was legitimately mad that I missed microed it at the end, and I should have won the game easily. Because more mad at myself than anything else.
yeah. When I
Oh,
lost
wait.
to Six Pool, I lost to a Six Pearl earlier this week because of bad micro, and I was mad as fuck. But
That's
I was
usually how you lose to a 6 pool. Let's
I
be
think that's
honest.
the only way.
That's really, really weird. I didn't know Adina even took gas in StarCraft 2. I thought he was no gas Terran.
No,
Wow.
he dropped that whole act.
All right, guys. Well, just to break the silence real quick, but I gotta take off. But thanks for having me on, and
Good luck, buddy. Good luck at your game.
yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Play
good one,
tomorrow.
man.
Yep,
Good
what's
luck,
up, brother?
Like,
Best of luck, man.
See you, Tim.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Tim, you should remove that from the.
We have new topics.
Hey,
to
hold
talk
on,
about, I think.
Toom. NanoCloud wanted to join the Skype call. Yay or nay?
I say yeah. I think that would be interesting.
we already have like 19
No,
people on the
there's
Skype call.
too many.
At
no
this point, to be
reason
honest,
to.
I might like just leave the Skype call too.
There's
way too
No
many
reason to have him on.
I think there's way too many people, and that's just going to cause problems if we have more, especially if there's already drama surrounding stuff. So.
I'm gonna leave, guys. Good luck tonight. I'll be in the chat though later.
All right,
All right,
see you, buddy.
see you later, man.
Later,
You have a
Monty.
sexy
Love
night,
you.
sir.
Another one bites the dust.
Who's
Monty is-
next, bitches?
Now we can do 3 and 3 actually. Or no,
Monty
3 and
is the
4.
Yeah,
father
I'm
of my
waiting for
children.
it to
I just
drop
think
off.
You guys should know that.
Takes forever for Skype to just ignore that and actually drop
What
it.
is what? Does Monty actually like work in that lab that he is in? Like
He
what?
breaks in, like it's
Yeah,
an
he just
abandoned
goes
building.
there
Yeah,
and
he
hangs
steals-
out.
I
Yeah, he just
feel like
hangs
that's
out
actually
there.
what happens because he.
Oh shit, guys! People are here. I gotta go.
The guy next to
No, sir.
Imarine is Jahoon. I'm sure you can link his stream there, but he's a High Masters Terran that does some pretty interesting stuff with his games.
Or his feet.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a stream where they'll show feet, this is your guy.
This is
If
ready
you
to
ever,
go.
if you ever become an SC2 pro and you want somebody to compliment you on someone else's stream, just hit up Filter. He seems to know every pro and knows exactly what they do, so. I definitely checked out like 3 or 4 streams yesterday when
Filter.
we were thinking people.
Filter, if you had to describe me in a sentence, what would you give me?
Trash. What?
Yeah, pretty much.
Full sentence, trash.
You have to. You have to. Do
Yeah,
an
okay, if
accent.
medevac drops were taken out of the game, Fox would probably be in Silver League.
Hey.
Oh boy.
That would be so dumb if they took out Medivacs. That would just, oh man, Terran would be so trash.
Hey, let's not
Medevac
start a
drops?
conversation.
I don't even drop,
That's-
like, I really don't drop that much. So many Terrans, like,
They're so imbo.
overdo it.
I play a lot of Terrans that, like, if their
They
drop
drop
doesn't do
all day and
damage,
they lose,
then
like, every single medevac drop in the
Well,
world,
it's-
and they have
it's
no
not
army at
that,
home
like,
after.
like their
'Cause they
drop
just
has
lose
to
the
work.
medevac and lose the drop. And
So
they'll do
I watch-
damage, like, it's, you watch, like, even Master Terrans, and I'm more than guilty of this, but they drop, they, like, run their drop in, like, kill a few things, and then, like, their whole drop and their army gets cleaned up.
I just boost the
Yeah,
medevac
pick
out.
it
I
up
let
and
the
run away.
Marines.
That's the most obnoxious thing, as for me at least as a Zerg, is when somebody is intelligent with their drop play and they'll drop and do damage against drones or structure or whatever it is. You bring your units over to deal with it, and they just lift up and go float in the corner. Like they don't leave and they don't come back right away. Try to like bait you
Is
back. They're
Phoenix
just like,
fighting or
I'll come back
something?
in a minute. They're just like, I'll come back in a minute, and
That's
during that time they do whatever. So
that's the
as a town
entirety
player-
of my TVZ strategy. Like,
Yeah, as
the
a town
entirety
player-
of it.
It's that's what
I
you
feel
do. You
so
pick up the
proud.
drop and you come back. Like,
yeah,
but you
No, you
there's so
know
many
what?
Terrans out there, and there's a lot of Zergs that are guilty of this too, of like not playing correctly. So what I mean by it, where it ends up making it like a much worse situation. So like when you go in and you drop, you should go in like do your damage and then pick up whenever the units come to clean it up, right? You pick up, you
Okay.
boost
Okay.
off, you
or
come
you
back.
boost, or you at
But
least
it-
get the medevac out of there. If,
Yeah.
if nothing else, the medevac's the only important part.
But like,
Like, you can
a
throw
bad
away
Terran
aid
will
supply.
literally like just leave all
Yeah.
his units and start like killing off random stuff, and it's like, man, like get out. You still like you shouldn't be here. Maybe you sent like a little bit too little to deal with it, and it's like, wow, that's a little bit frustrating.
No, you have
Same
to
thing
do
with
it with a
Zergs,
double
like.
You
Yeah,
feel
you,
so
you watch
proud.
like professionals like kick mutas off. The mutas leave because there's like 1 or 2 turrets there, and they don't want to lose any mutas at all to the turrets. But you take a Diamond League Zerg, and his mutas are flying in there and getting like 3 or 4 of them are dying off, but he's gonna do way more damage. But it's just like, man, you're not supposed to do that. Stop.
Messing, can you look at Skype?
Yeah, I'm trying. Hold on a second.
It's I know who keeps doing it, so
Also, we should talk to
anyway.
the proposed balance changes that Blizzard talked about on
Here we go.
Battle.net. We should talk
I will
about.
can you
serve
link
as
that to the
everyone
stream?
non-Protoss except for the non-Protosses.
Can
Well,
we link
actually,
that to the
I
stream?
think the
Wait,
the
filters here.
balance
Never
changes for
mind.
Protoss are actually kind of odd because the Oracle was already really good, and now they're making it
Fuck.
better, which I don't really understand.
What do you think about the Oracle?
It's not
I
that
need to
good.
see the. I need to see the.
It's okay PvZ. It's actually can be really good PvZ because they can snipe.
Queens.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I was
the
thinking.
queens. The queens isn't. The queens is good, but it can also snipe larva. So like, if your opponent's gonna all in you,
Huh.
like you see that they're gonna all in you, you can just snipe all the Oracle, and you're completely safe. Like snipe off all the larva at the Oracle.
Yeah, I was thinking
But-
that it's not really going to affect PvT that much because you still get a turret and you're still
PvT,
fine with
it's-
it. but-
PvT
It's not like you were
zero.
gonna catch it with Marines anyway. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, they posted on their website that they like.
Hold on,
how
Dina's
people
saying
are-
that he could have like never stream sniped me because he's top masters MMR. So I'm gonna find the replay and post it to drop.
Yeah, Adina. See, that's another thing about
Don't
Adina. Like,
respond to it.
he's top 8 masters, but he has like 50 points in his master division because it's new. So he calls himself top 8 masters, but in reality, he's like low master, high diamond. So
I don't even know what
a
it.
lot of people
Oh.
do.
Anyway,
You're
balance changes.
responding. You're
Balance
doing
changes.
exactly what he wants.
This is not
balance
the topic
changes.
you're looking for.
What
Let's
the
go with
fuck,
Twitter
bro?
says. Anyway, let me
Yeah,
pull
what
up
the
the
workplace?
balance changes pages. I just think it's kind of weird that they want to
does
encourage
this-
proxy Stargate. I don't really get that at all. That doesn't
Link
make
that
sense.
in
to me.
the.
It's like,
link
well,
that
I
in
don't even
the
think you have
learn
to
how to
proxy
defend
it anymore.
Well, I mean, they
Just
like
do it
said in their
for
post
reals.
that they've been seeing proxy Stargate and they like it, and I'm
And they
just
said
like,
that it doesn't end games.
but they're wrong. I've
Kinda
seen
does.
I've seen a lot of people end games
Are there-
with proxy Oracle in PvT all day.
Toss
This is
is
a
way
while
too
ago.
strong.
I feel like-
Way too strong.
I don't know,
It's like-
man. For me personally, this is the same thing that people were complaining about Widow Mines, and from protesters were complaining about Widow Mines for a long time, and then
No,
everyone
not
was
at
like,
all.
"Hey, all we have
I
to
don't
do
think
is
Widow
just
Mines
react."
are overpowered. I think it's really
Okay,
hard
no,
to not
no.
take damage from them.
Can
No, no,
I
it's
get?
not hard
Play
at
better.
all.
When
Can I-
Widow Mines first came out and everyone was starting to play Heart of the Swarm, everyone who was not a Terran player was bitching so hard about Widow Mines, and now you
There's
don't
not
hear,
even
you
a
really
safe
don't hear
like
kinda
Widow Mine
true.
drop build anyway.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
I
it's-
change all
now
of
you
your
know how to
opinions
deal
on
with
Widow
it.
Mines?
Like they gave you the tools to deal with it.
Yeah, but like nobody knew how because that's what
'Cause they
people
didn't
were
pay
used to
attention.
doing.
Yeah.
Because- I'm gonna throw something out here. Protoss and Zurich players are very used to whining about Terran and having something done about it by Blizzard before they actually learn how to deal with something. Because that's what's been happening since through all of Heart of the through all Wings of Liberty. Is that and the Terran would innovate something, and Protoss and Zergs would whine about it until it got nerfed instead of learning how to deal with it. And that's what happened.
Can you give
All-
a couple examples just so we
Blue
can
Flame
Yeah,
Hellion.
sure.
perspective.
Reapers,
Can-
Blue Flame
can-
Hellions, Medevac speed,
The 11-11.
bunker timing, barracks timing, supply depot timing.
Bunker salvage.
And we're talking about Heart of the Swarm.
Can-
Yeah,
correct?
bunker
Not-
salvage.
I please give my opinion
Stim
on Widow
timing.
Mines.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please do. Please do.
As the only
Widow Mines-
legitimate player.
Widow Mines are not imbalanced in a sense of a unit, but like in a way that they are imbalanced is the way it gives Terran players amount, or I'm sorry, it allows Terran players just to have so much room for mistake. Like
Yeah,
that's what
I
is
completely
imbalanced
agree with
about
you.
it.
I completely agree because Terran is a race that's used to making one mistake and the game being over, at least in every matchup. But now with Hellbats and Widow Mines, Terran players who are used to having to play with no mistakes in order to be still in the game, were now placed in a position where they actually had breathing room, which it made it seem so ridiculous. And it was crazy. So, I mean, that's because Terran players with the units of Hellbats and Widow Mines got breathing room.
And
And
what
it was
what
crazy.
I don't think
Mines
I don't think
crazy-
Protoss players can complain too much about Widow Mines. I think it's Zerg that could complain
It's mainly
a little
Zerg,
bit.
but you still have the tools to deal with
But
it.
So,
here's the
A
thing.
better
Sorry.
Terran will, or like an equal skill Terran should beat a Zerg pretty much every time right now.
Here's
ahead,
the
Puck.
thing.
Yeah.
Medevac boost is what makes Widow Mines very overpowered. Because if you're Protoss and you're engaging, and they had a shift queued Medevac that they know about and Protoss doesn't, and they drop in your mineral line, if Protoss loses a mineral line, we're fucked. Whereas Zerg or Terran, they can just mass drones, they just make mules, or have mules. Protoss can't do any of that. And that's what is the biggest problem with Widow Mines. Like, they're very easy to deal with, at the beginning of the game, but like mid or late game, if Terrans start using them, it can be very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is look at that Desro
It's
video.
the same thing as like
him versus
if
that
you've ever had a
Mexican
Dark Templar or like warp like I know you do this, Puck, where you have a warp prism and you just warp in like 12 zealots into the back of a Terran's base. Like that is exceptionally hard to deal with as well.
Yeah, but look at the investments.
Yeah, it's a little bit different there.
Once you get to
I
like
don't know.
4, honestly,
I don't know,
I
because you
feel
can
right
deal with
now.
that.
For the amount like Terran, like you basically stop 100% of his reinforcements. Period.
But you can just.
Because you
put
have to
turrets.
pull all your units. It's the same thing with
But-
like putting DTs in the mix with that same thing.
I can argue that if a Terran has a good Sim City, that a Warpin will not kill all the reinforcements.
It's not necessarily about killing them. Like you force him to have to pull them back and deal with your zealots, right?
It's
I mean,
about
that's
Yeah,
how
but-
I always
but-
invest in the turret. Right?
Like I don't mean from me because I'm obviously nowhere near you in terms of skill, but even stuff like watching Bomber try to deal with it when Wujin Star's SOS was doing it to him, and he just warped in like 8 zealots, and like that was it. He bought himself more than enough time to have an army that was going to walk across the map and absolutely crush him.
Yeah,
Like,
but
It's
I mean-
it's not, and like the zealots, they don't like you really don't have to do anything with them. Like you just drop them off in the base and never pay attention to them. Widow Mines are very similar in that regard, but
I mean that all comes down to the Sim City a lot of times, because if Protoss does that and you're going through a production cycle, like if you just finish a production cycle and all of your barracks are near each other, they're all lined up, and it's hard for zealots to actually get inside. If you re-rally all of your units inside between the tech labs and the reactors, only one zealot can hit at a time. So if you have like 4, like say 2 Marauders and 2 Marines in a little box that's almost completely choked off, the zealots would just do nothing almost. They'll kill the.
That's like a Hellbat in the mineral line for Zerg because we don't have any range. We have nothing that can hit more than one. They just melt them.
Yeah, what
So
about
it's the
Hellbat
same.
drops? I mean, do you guys think
Well,
Hellbat drops?
we went
are
over this in the
Oh.
last one. I don't want to spend another hour
Yeah.
talking about
See,
Hellbat
let's get
drops.
the okay. Let's let Puck. Do Hellbat drops even happen in TVP?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. They do a lot. I do them. So.
They're not good.
New meta.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they're not
because of the mostly the proton overcharge early
I'd
game.
rather see Hellions, because probes are very weak to begin with. Hellions are faster, more efficient.
I'm talking. I think I'm talking before High Templar come out and after early games. So like in mid game, if you're just making, that's what I do. Like I'll just load up before they really have High Templars for feedbacks and just send them into the base. And I mean, I usually do a little bit of damage with them.
And if a Protoss is good enough, you won't do any damage. You'll maybe get like 2 probe kills, but that's not worth the investment of a medevac and 2 Hellbats.
It's like I don't know if you watched the Mario Noni series, but Mario tried it a couple times to get the Hellbat drops in there, and all Noni did was feedback and have a stalker just shoot it out, and that was it.
Yeah.
Done. Like you weren't getting in there.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to kind of talk about because we're seeing a lot of the time, like in GSTL, I was watching last night, and GSL lately. The trend is if you let a Protoss get to 4 bases, Bio Marine Ghost just kind of ceases to work once Storm and
even
Glass are
3
up.
bases. Even 3 bases.
3
cost you-
bases they can't just like be throwing away units, but 4 bases you can have DTs, you can start
It's-
transitioning. It's 4
I
bases.
don't think it's the number of bases. I think it's how ridiculously safe Terran has to play in the first
Yeah.
like 10 minutes to just put them behind. You
Cost
can't.
gets-
You
I
cannot
don't think
pick
that's
the
true.
against Protoss.
Well, I mean,
Puck,
I kind
I
of
don't-
agree.
That's what's happening. You're seeing like every Terran in GSL is getting like a fast Eng bay and stuff like that because they have
Yeah.
no choice.
But if we don't scout, we have to go fast Robo or fast Stargate for scouting. That's
But I mean, but no
huge
Terran
difference.
aggression. Does Terran aggression really work in TV? Because I haven't been able to find a way
It
to do it. So
depends
Puck-
how safe the Protoss is playing, I
I mean,
guess.
but what about the mothership core? I mean, for me, that unit just there's no Terran all-ins anymore that I think I can find that are working for me. And I mean, anything before 10 minutes,
They're all
if you try to walk
3-based
into their
though.
base,
No,
they have
no,
a
no.
mothership core.
That's what we're seeing. Is the Terran all-ins are before Storm
you
comes
get to
out if they go
3 base.
Colossus and you pull your SCVs,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
You just
happens.
pull all your
Yeah,
SCVs
that's
and
what
go.
all-
Shoot,
What Koreans are
motherfucker.
doing, are just doing massive aggression all game long, and then just eventually just killing the Protoss. Like
Well,
they'll do
like,
like
the only type of aggression I'm
Just,
seeing is
like,
like a lot of
diff-
Hellion drops.
the difference between Koreans and people who are in North America or masters is Koreans always snipe the ops, and then they drop. That's how they do it, and then we're not prepared to deal with that shit. But if you're
Alright.
playing some random player who doesn't snipe the obs, it's so easy to deal with that shit. Like, they don't understand how important sniping the obs is. Like, we need to know how to split our army. If we are not split properly, we just either get overrun or we just die to harassment. That's the problem with NA Terrans.
Okay,
Yeah,
Puck, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So so I like to play Imarine a lot, and in the games that I play him, he usually gets like 5 or 6 observers, right? And he posts them around the map, not necessarily in front. He puts one or two, or one in front of my army, one in front of my base, but the other ones are in various positions around the map to spot drops or things like that. So how should I, as a Terran player, what do I do? Like, is there any counterplay for me? How do I get rid of those observers?
To be fair, Fox, like Imarine doesn't look at the mini map, so all those observers don't actually do anything.
Hey man, it's hard to look at the mini map.
Let's pretend he did though.
Something I gotta
Like,
work on.
But the thing is, like, making observers like that is cutting into his production. And it's also delaying his High Templar. He's not producing Colossus. He's playing
it's
really
12
safe.
It's 10 to 12
Right, yeah,
supplies
yeah.
tied up in observers as opposed to an army as well.
Well, I mean, the observers are before Colossus, so they don't tie up a Colossus production at all.
Well, technically they are because you can't.
I think he means that like before his Robo Bay goes
No,
down.
I mean like I can't even
That's-
make
that's
Colossus.
less
Like once I can
Templar.
make Colossus, I don't make observers anymore.
If you're talking about observers at like 15, 20 minutes in the game, then yeah, it's normal to have a lot more observers because you want to be prepared for Blink or Cloak from Ghosts. You don't want to die to some Cloak Ghosts. You want to have extra observers to deal with that shit. And like the time where Terran should be harassing like a shit ton is between 11 and 15 minutes in the game anyways. You like the Protoss should be being forced to make Colossus to deal with the aggression. They should not be allowed to make the observers to scope for drops. The Terran should be aggressive enough where, I mean, the Protoss has to produce nothing but units.
How about the early aggressions from Protoss players like Blinkstalker All In and Immortal
Oh.
All Ins? Those are like just impossible to
Immortal
defend.
All-Ins, Immortal All-Ins, I mean,
They're pretty easy to scout with Reapers is the thing.
just
Yeah.
like the observer.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you make 2 Reapers, you'll die to Oracles.
Okay, here's the thing. If you scout an Immortal All-In, like you literally know it's an Immortal All-In, make 2 Widow Mines, save some scans, snipe the observer, bam, Immortals are melted by Widow Mines. And keep the Widow Mines in the back, but once the
You can
observer-
retarget them until the observers get in range as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, but what about all right? What about the Mothership Call 3-gate Blink All-In? The Mothership Core. Instead of getting an observer, they get a Mothership Core for that high ground vision. Because that's the Blink All-In that I've been having trouble holding.
Well,
I don't.
Well, that's the
I
double
mean,
blink all in because they can recall.
It's not that like I know how to hold the all in if I scout it. It's just there's very little differentiation between them. Like even like
You
top
scout
high
that
level
double
players.
gas, you're like, well, they could be doing
Yeah.
anything.
Well, guys
Yeah.
like Bomber lost straight up to a 3-gate. Like straight up lost to the 3-gate pressure.
So
and, like,
Flash,
I've lost
Flash
to that,
also
obviously,
gets
'cause
raped by
I'm not that
Protoss
good.
players. Flash.
Well,
So
I haven't seen I don't care. My own ladder experience is me getting raped by Protoss from every angle. But
Oh,
then
man,
when
that
I
was
go
so
to
funny.
look, I go look for inspiration from high level Terran players, and I see Flash getting raped. I see Pult getting raped. I see Bomber getting raped. There's another guy in the Jockji getting raped. I can't find games where there's another one. There's the WCS thing where it's like Thorzane, and like Thorzane does a ton of damage and then still got raped, and it's like I'm trying to figure out. The only exception was the other guy just like did some terrible attack into Thorzane's army, and that's how he won. But if there's better control there, it would have been a different story. I just
kinda
can't
feel
find any high level stuff where the Terran player is
Mech might
both
be the
playing
answer.
safe and not risky, and managing to win the game.
It might have to be Mech because right now I'm just. It
Or they
seems.
just go chargelets.
I mean, if you go
Against-
Hellbats, they completely demolish chargelets. I know Mech
Yeah.
has its issues as well, but I feel like we're gonna have to see a
There's just
change
so many-
so that you can't
there's
be
so
like
many
he's
different
going
types.
bio medevac every time.
Yeah.
So they can, they have a little bit like you can't rush Storm against like.
I would be
Siege tank
okay with
Hellbat.
I'd be okay with the metagame idea of trying to figure out like what's going on and how to solve it if there was a specific problem. But I'm seeing players die to everything, like literally everything under the sun. The
Like, having
Protoss
those
can
back-
do is successful at the highest level.
And
Yeah, that's kind of
engagement
why I
wise,
wanted-
it's like
And it's
Protoss
very
is so
hard
much
to figure that
easier
out.
to engage against Terran players, and Terran have to like adjust to so many things like Colossus, Templars, and You have to do like good splits, add in, fire.
I don't
fire
mind-
bats, hellbats, and stuff.
No, I think
don't
we've
mind
heard
the
enough from
mid to late
Terrence. I
game.
kind of want to hear a response.
Yeah. I don't mind the mid to late game stuff, but the really late game is
I mean,
like
and Blizzard,
shit just never happens, but-
yeah, Blizzard did such a nice job with that adding micro. Like I was watching iMarine earlier, and there's actually Protoss play. It's not just a move anymore. It's really nice. Like you have the Void Rays now have added micro. Everything that you're doing is added micro, and that's what I love about HOTS. But like from a
don't know about
Protoss
Void Rays.
perspective,
Wait, hold on. Is this
No, 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 no,
Sarka?
no.
What's
Void
going
Rays?
on
No,
here?
no. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm actually being genuine. Like, there's actually been a lot of added micro, and I've been liking it. But my problems have been coming still from the same things that they were coming from. Like, I still
I
have
have a
problems
problem
with
the
storms.
early
I still
game.
have
I don't
problems
mind
with
after the
Remax.
fact. After the fact, it's fine. Like I played a bunch of games with iMarine, and like when I got to the late game on equal footing or ahead, like I was able to take your army apart if I pulled you out of position, and we were
Well,
equal
the
footing.
games where you raped my army, you went for like really YOLO builds. Like you went, fast CC the Raven Scout and double NG Bay. So
It's actually pretty standard if they use Scout no all in.
Yeah, if I'm scouting
5
one
minute
gas,
CC
like, that's
on the
pretty
low
normal.
ground. So like really, that's
Yeah.
standard.
Third CC on the low ground's a little bit greedy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that was kind of ballsy, but that was one game too.
But
I
yeah,
think
it's
we
What I
should
mean,
really.
what I mean though is like I can take your. I don't really care that much about like a Colossus
Puck, what
Templar.
kills you?
I mean,
What kills you the most in PvT?
Late game, Infestor, or not Infestor, but Viking Ghost bullshit.
Just like really well controlled, I assume.
Yeah,
The
it's
Viking
almost
Ghost is
impossible to be late game Terran if the Terran's good.
Then like I totally agree with that. I don't think as
It's-
a Protoss
it's
player
just
you
Below the
don't
highest
have very
level.
many options.
Yeah, do you guys
Below the
remember the
highest
game?
level of the-
that's the,
Like
that's
it
the
was
problem with playing
Thorzane.
Terran.
It was Thorzane versus Naniwa, and Naniwa's on like 6 or 7 bases on Cloud Kingdom, and Thorzane has like 1 mining base, and it's pretty much mined out. It's got like 3 mineral patches, and since he has Viking Ghost, he just kills Naniwa's army over.
One EMP and the game
over.
could be over. That's what really
Oh,
bugs
yeah.
me about the
It
matchup.
kind of, it's almost the same way with Storm. It's not the same because of Medivacs, obviously. But I think most of the complaints from Terran players from below the highest level, they stem from the fact like it is quite difficult to control your Ghosts, your Vikings, and keep your army in a good position simultaneously. But once you get that down, of course the Terran army is
Once you
stronger.
get that down.
I think that is
Once you get
completely overrated because Terran movement speeds are very similar. It's not as hard to deal with as where Protoss, Colossus, Templar, Stalker, Zealot all have different movement speeds, and that's, I mean, it's all fucked up, and you have to keep making sure your units are organized properly. Like your High Templars don't get wiped the fuck back, and your Stalkers aren't in front of your army. Archons aren't trapped.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that easy to deal with.
I mean, I'm just talking from like top masters as Protoss and Terran. I find Protoss it's a little bit easier to find myself in a situation
Oh,
where
yeah.
I have an army that can take the initiative. Like I have storms, you have to back off until you have ghosts. It's just how it is. Whereas Terran,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with high masters players.
I know.
They,
Obviously, I'm just talking
they
about the
get a
lower
death
level,
ball and they A move.
and it works most of the time. Is the thing.
It
I'm
never
not-
works in my games.
Well, you're
never
doing
works.
it because top masters NA Terrans just cannot micro well enough to counter the death ball. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's just
Talking
true.
to every, I'm talking to every
Yes.
Terran in this call.
They
which
must have had
obviously
someone
doesn't
that's
cook.
micro.
It
And the
goes- it
work.
goes-
How many
both ways
ghosts
a
are
little
we
bit,
supposed
like-
to have in the base?
I
mean,
had-
in
I had
our-
30
give you-
15 to 20.
I had 30
But
ghosts.
you
I
can
got
get-
wrecked.
That's what Beyond was doing. I sure he lost against Crank last night, but he decided his late game he was producing nothing but Vikings, Ghosts, and Medivacs. Once he got to the late game, he got up to like 20 Ghosts. He fucked up because his Ghost like got force fielded and trapped by 2 Colossus beams, but he was looking pretty good until that point. So,
Until he
apparently that's
died,
what
he was
Koreans
doing
are figuring
well.
out.
Well, like
Well, you can't
Good-
lose 20 Ghosts.
good or
like, right
hefty
off the
some
bat.
Protoss too. Like, I'll use Imarine as an example. P7 keeps saying I make fun of him, but this is an example where Imarine was
kinda
actually
do.
better than what I was better than what I was expecting. So typically when I play, I'm in Masters, so I'm bad, right? But I typically get away with like a small number of Vikings, like 8 or 9, because the most Protoss players don't
They're
have
on
the
the
APM to
same
snipe them
hot-
all off.
They're in the
Well,
same hockey as their.
No,
rest of the
I pull them on
RP2.
a separate. I use all
No,
my
no,
army.
not
No,
your-
he
not your
means
Vikings,
like
they're
a lot
Yeah,
of Protoss
his stuff
players,
is all
they
in the
don't
same
put their
hockey, yeah.
stalkers on the same hockey.
And what happens is I can just mow down all their Colossus, no problem, and they don't snipe any of my Vikings, right? And But when I was playing against Imarine, I ended up having to make a lot more. I had to make like 14 or 15 or 16 because he was using his stalkers to blink and take care of my Vikings. And I was losing the early engagements. So after I made that adjustment, I was able to fight him quite a bit easier. But it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's
like a lot of
about
Terrans I
Ivory.
play don't make a lot of Vikings, so they make like you said, like
You
7, 8.
get a huge
'cause I guess-
advantage because most Protoss like just don't kill the Vikings. They never get
Yeah,
sniped.
I never knew that because I got coaching from Minigun. He's like, gotta blink on the Vikings, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I always do that, but apparently Terrans
There's
don't
more
make
to
any
that.
Vikings.
There's more to that. It's not just blinking; it's also holding position.
True, but just pretty much keeping the Vikings off the Colossus as much as
It's
possible.
anything that
Yeah.
comes out of the starport. If you can take it out first in engagement, whether it's like feedbacking the medevacs, taking out the Vikings, anything that allows you to have your Colossus up for longer is going to help you win the fight.
Yeah.
That's just pretty much how it's going to go in PvT. If you keep your Colossus alive, I don't care like if they have like 15 ghosts or whatever. If you have an observer, you're just going to roll over everything. But
The other thing too is if the Terran, like if his Marines aren't spread out and you land a storm on his Marines, like just morph a couple Archons.
But
and
that's
boom.
a lot more microable against. Like you can't micro against Colossus well enough to like kill 4 or 5 Colossus.
No,
with
I,
their
all I
charge
mean
bots
though
from.
is like if
Well,
you
Storm,
take
you
out the
can actually-
Marines
Yumi
in a
does.
Terran, if you as
In
soon as you take out
defense-
the Marines in a Terran army, and you're left with like charged lit Archon or something, like the Terran, like Marauders are not going to cut it.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. You have to, especially if you're fighting near the Terran's base or near the front of the Terran, like he doesn't have enough space to micro back, and you're going to win the game pretty easily. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be a little bit on board with this pipe, but when you're fighting the Terran, you want to fight him closer to his base than your own. Just because if you fight at your own, you give him lots of space to pull back. But if you're fighting close to his base, he's not going to be able to pull back as much, and it's going to make your life a lot easier in terms of landing your storms and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, in the middle of the map, obviously, there's a lot of areas where you can find the positioning for the Vikings, or you can get the ghosts in. But once they start like coming onto your side of the map, well, it doesn't really matter because Protoss, if they want to fight wherever they can warp in a lot of the time,
Yeah.
because if they can warp
Yeah.
in like 15 charge lots to finish up the fight, then that's
Oh,
a
it
lot
makes a
better
big
than waiting
difference.
for a huge reinforcement wave to come in.
Well, it
So-
goes both ways. Where like
Yeah.
a good like I played against Protoss and I like looked at the replay and the map is just pylons like everywhere, right? So like anywhere I fight him, he's gonna have good reinforcement potential. So if he fights me close to my base, I'm gonna lose. And when you watch like if I'm coaching like a Diamond Terran or I'm watching a stream of like a Diamond or even a Masters Terran, they're oftentimes like at their own base. They're not aggressive on the map. Like even if you're not going to win the fight against Protoss, it's important that you're taking position, because you can retreat for the most part. Like
Well,
it's very
what
rare
hap-
that you're going to get cut
What
off.
happens with me is that, all right, so let's say I have games. There are some games that I play that are the most fun games that I play, but I can't pull it off. Is when I'm all over the opponents. Like I'm dropping him. I'm this and that. I have small armies everywhere. Those are like the funnest games to play ever, right? But the problem is when you're doing that as a Terran player, you tend not to trade cost efficiently, and then they tend to just, all right. So you're like, oh man, I'm doing so well. I've
You're
been
supposed
here,
to be
I've been here."
expanding multiple times behind that and getting your tech
Yeah.
up, like your Vikings and your ghosts. You can't just keep dropping because it'll
Right,
stop
right.
working, and then you
No,
have
for
no
me-
ghosts and no
For me,
Vikings.
usually I play those games against like Zerg players. It's mostly like not against Protoss, but like, and then so what I'll do is I'll just be like, man, this is awesome, and I'll just be losing units everywhere, and then like eventually they'll just come to my base with a way bigger army than me because as much as I'm producing, I just haven't been trading well with them, and they'll just roll me.
Well, that's why you can't lose your drops.
Drops are not for damage; they're for positioning,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially
They're-
in TVZ.
There's a few you can do damage between about the 11 and 15 minute mark, but after that you're really just
It's
trying
for
to pull them
position,
around.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
like
yeah.
if you, I'll see it all the time where somebody goes and does like this 2 or 3 medevac drop, and they're gunning down all the drones, and then the Zerg's like, okay, and they make like 5 ultralists, and you literally just made the Zerg army better. It's all you accomplished.
Yeah.
Is you
But if
killed a
not,
bunch of drones and freed up the
attributes.
supply for more ultralists because they had a bank and they don't care.
Yeah.
Like your
That's
drops
the
are
most
like,
annoying.
if you can deny upgrades and stuff like that, that's awesome. But after that, you really want to be like killing structures and stuff like that once you get into the 15, 16 minute mark.
I mean,
Sucking
how
up
often
a
do you guys?
hive or an ultra
how
scan.
often do you-
And yeah,
so we have a
and
couple-
pulling them out of position. But
We have
you
a couple
can't.
Terrans in here. How often do you say you get Marauders in TVZ? Like ever? Never?
All the time.
All
Yeah,
the
all
time?
the
time.
time.
The,
You
the
have to get
transition
Okay.
of the Zergs got really strong coming into HOTS
Yeah.
comparing to Wings of Liberty, and
No one makes
I'm
that
kind of
many
having like
units.
a, yeah, right in the heart of the swarm.
They don't make what?
Yeah. They don't make if you go for mutas too long, you're going to they're going to lose the game.
They
Yeah,
always
but they
Unless
do.
they're
have
doing
that.
deep damage.
They have the timing. They have the timing where they can make like around 50 Mutalisks and do massive amount of damage to the Terran players.
That's why you got to overcommit to turrets at that timing. Because if they delay their hive enough to get mutas out, I make 5, 6, 7, 8 turrets on the edge of each of my bases just to
Well,
make
if
sure I
they-
take 0 damage from mutas, and then pull him out,
If they-
pull his mutas
If
back.
they
with
pull
drops.
sorry.
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, that's pretty much it. What happens. Like I have like a 75% win rate in TVZ now, and I just switched. I've been only practicing Terran for like a week. Pretty much what I do if they go mutas, just mass turrets to make sure I don't take any damage, and then once I'm starting to hit 2-2, get around 160, 170 supply, I send drops out, like one to their 4th base, one to their main. I land the one in their main first, because they bring the mutas back. They're like, oh, there's a drop, because I don't land it somewhere that, like in the mineral end where there's a spore crawler. I just show them the drop. All the mutas come back every time without fail, and from there I can start dropping in every location the mutas aren't, and then move out with a main army.
Yeah,
And
because
it-
they just move
every
the
time
whole
they-
pack instead of like
Well,
5.
if they have enough, I mean, what do you do if they have enough map vision? Because I mean, Zerg players are usually
They're
very
supposed to have
attentive.
map vision. The idea
Yeah,
is like
they usually-
have
they
map
usually
vision
see the
to
drops.
abuse.
Your
If you're
drops
talking
are
about
not
creep or you're
talking
drops
about
are
Overlord
positioning
spread?
based, right? Like even if you're pulling his mutas to kill the drop going to his main and he kills it on the way to the main, then your drop lands at the 4th anyway. You've kind of accomplished what you were trying to do.
Yeah,
And
and
The
usually
other
it's
thing too,
moving
like
out
if a
at the same
Zerg is getting mutas at like 11 or 11 and a half minutes, like they don't have enough money to defend a frontal attack. Like that's just too early to get mutalisks. They won't be able to defend an attack if you just go kill them.
Now, as soon as you see, like, once they make about 10 mutas, at that point you should scan wherever their lair was and see, is he going for hive? Because a lot of players will make, like, when they're making their first mutas, they'll get their infestation pit to go to hive, just expecting their mutas to keep you defensive until they go ultras. And if you see that, then you have a huge timing, like, they don't have infestors because they're going for hive. All they have is mutas. You pull the mutas out of position, you can move out with your main army, and usually go kill, like, at least a 4th base, if not win the game. Because that's when I win most of my... Unless I have to, like, play the really long attrition game against the Ultralists. Usually, if you scout their hive timing, you can abuse that for the next couple minutes. Because you won't have... Ultralists without chitinous plating actually kind of melt to a mass bio Widowmine ball pretty easily. For a little bit, at least, until they get that upgrade up. So as long as you keep them out of position and take out some bases, you can kind of play that long, drawn-out game where you're trading armies, and he's trying to make ultras, but eventually you're just dropping all his bases. If he keeps making ultras, he's not making anti-air. So it's...
Yeah, generally while you're getting
you
the
gotta keep
hive,
them on balance.
like you're gonna be pooling minerals, obviously pooling Vespene gas because you're waiting to get that Ultralisk. You're trying to get all these different upgrades. You want to save up for infestors, things like that. There's a timing in there where if you drop and you snipe an infestation pit, you're gonna put the Zerg really far behind because he's not gonna have that keep your army still. Like, cause when you get ultras, like, okay, kite me, I'm gonna chase you down. But with just Zerglings and Banelings, like if you're engaging right near the edge of creep, or if you're engaging when they don't have infestors, it's so much harder for the Zerg to get a surround on you and get good positioning. So if you could just snipe that infestation pit, like you see it moving around, or if you go in there 10-minute mark, 11-minute mark, like right as hive
It's not
tech
even
is either
about
started or
sniping
finished,
it. It's
just kill
about
it.
pulling his... If you pull his army back when you're sniping his infestation pit, or at least damaging
Yeah,
or
exactly.
threatening it, he has to pull his army back.
Yeah.
And then you get a 4th, and maybe you get a 3rd too, and
Yeah.
you get your Widow Mines burrowed exactly where you want them, and
Yeah.
suddenly, good luck, Zerg player, without
Yeah, I mean,
Ultralists.
Top 3 buildings in the Zerg, like entire Zerg race, infestation
Well,
pits
you
up there
can.
because you can
One of the
swarm
best
those
things you can
and get
do.
investors.
One of the absolute best things you can do against the Zerg is just take your 3rd base really, really early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
As
just
long as
straight
they
up
don't
walk
kill
over and
you.
you go take it. Because
Yeah.
the Zerg
Just
is
put
either
like
going to
2
be
Widow
forced.
Mines down there, see what they want to
Well,
do.
it's not even
exactly.
about necessarily defending it, right? Like if you force them to make like 30 or 40 links and some banelings to come over and try to kill it at like the 8 or 9 minute mark, you're messing up their droning pretty hard and their economy. You're pushing the mutas further and further back, right? So even if they get in and you have to lift and kind of pull back, it's not the end of the world. But you
Let's
do
be
want to
honest.
really force them. You want to force it out and take it because you will put pressure on them to make a decision between continuing to drone or facing a 3-base Terran economy, which is pretty brutal as a Zerg player.
Upgrades are pretty important in TVZ, I'd say. Like probably
Yeah,
the most
definitely.
important thing, TVZ. Yeah.
You can't fall
definitely.
behind.
Like either race, like if you don't have the upgrades, you're just gonna straight up lose. Like even if you're 3-3, like if both sides are 3-3, that's when it becomes just a clusterfuck of just
Yeah.
get like Terran is just trying to split as best he can. If there's siege tanks or Widow Mines, Zerg's trying to just pull like everything but one Zergling back so that it just gets picked off. Like it's
But
The
if,
upgrades are the most
if
fun
through
part, so you can get
drops
to that
or
part.
whatever else, like if you can get them to be behind on upgrades, so if you as a Terran can get 1 or 2 upgrades ahead, like 3-3
Yeah.
Marines demolish 1-1 anything. Like
Oh, yeah.
as far
Yeah,
as
it does. Yeah.
I mean, anything
That's-
in the game, like literally anything.
it just doesn't even matter.
If you do notice, like a lot of players, if they're rushing Ultralisk, if they're on like 3 bases, maybe going for a 4th, and like 11 or 12, like more like 12 minutes, they're starting to get Ultralisks out. Click on those Ultralisks because they might just be like generic 2/2 Ultras, like how Lenac
Yeah, if
does
they're
in
2/2
GVP.
ultras, you can just
It's
kill them
like-
with Marines.
Pretty big paperweights right there because you can rip through them.
Yeah.
A lot of
players are like
Terrans do-
Ultralisk. Oh no.
when they add
It's
their
not
extra
that scary.
production, they end up adding it wrong. So like your first 5 barracks, you want like 1 tech lab and 4 reactors, and then after that you basically just go tech labs.
I don't really like the idea of
That's
Ultralisk that allows people just to A move. And I don't think that concept requires no skill to use Ultralisk.
Well, I mean,
I don't-
as the Zerg player, like, it's hard. Like, the Terran player is just gonna pick you apart because when you have Ultralisk, the Terran player
I think
is not just
I think
gonna let you A move.
Puck's
He's gonna
talking
just be
about
all over the
CVP
place.
as well.
Yeah, you have
because
to, like,
of the build that's
uh,
becoming popular.
Let me
Especially,
ask.
like,
All right,
three
let's- I actually kind of wanted to talk about ZVP because I've been watching Imarine stream recently, and it's
I have
just
some
it's
trouble
funny
with ZVP
watching him
right now.
get wrecked. With
Yeah, my
Zerg
ZVP
players.
is
Yeah.
or not my ZVP. My PVZ is just not very
Let's
good
talk
right
about-
now.
No
we
one understands
not-
that all-ins are extremely good versus Zerg right now. No one
Yeah, like-
understands the mothership
Well,
course.
I mean, I know
Dude,
they are
that's
good,
what I get
but I
with all
don't
the
want to
time.
practice the all-ins. I like to play the macro game. Like
Do you
on
like
my
to practice
matchups.
winning?
You play
yeah,
Protoss.
but macro game favors Zerg more than it favors Protoss now.
Unless you're going Sky Toss, if you can get to Sky. Well, it depends on the
No,
map.
Sky
What would you
Toss is
say,
really-
like,
Sky toss.
Tempest.
Akalon-
Sorry.
There are a couple
Sky
maps
Toss.
like Akalon Waste. No, not Belshire. Akalon Waste is the one map I can think of where Protoss kind of gets a third base if they want a third base. But besides that, I would probably
Yeah, I
tend
mean,
to
if
avoid.
I went
That's what you
all
see.
in every single game,
That's what
then
you
my
see
weight
Lenac
would be a
doing.
lot higher. But then I would
Oh,
be
yeah.
just in a higher MMR division or just a higher MMR rating that really doesn't match my skill level. Because if I just all in, then on my other
Protoss is the
matchups-
one. Protoss
Yeah,
are the one
but-
race where like
The
mixing
thing-
in all ins and like having an understanding of them and how they work is like a pretty reasonable
It's
part
kind
of
of
your play.
required some of the time because you
I
can't just
know-
be like, oh, I took damage, now I'll macro it out.
I just don't want to be that Protoss player that plays all gimmicky and just be like, well, I guess I'll just do this all in this
There's
game.
a difference
'Cause at
between
my
going
level,
one
the-
base Oracle and like praying to God it works and doing a strong 2 base timing attack
Based on
And
what
and
you
being able to
scouted
either A
with
macro
your
out
first
of
Paladin
it
stock.
or B be able to just like push through and crush the Zerg because the Zerg's playing greedy.
At my level, it doesn't really help me to do like the all-ins because I'm not at the level where I can metagame other opponents because my mechanics and just decision making in general
Well, how do
isn't
you
there.
how do you
so-
get better, dude? How do you get better? You play against better players, so.
Oh my god.
But there's a limit to that. There's a
I
limit
mean,
to
we
that. You
have
can't
one
play.
person who can actually comment on this.
Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, everyone. I think you're all awesome.
We love you.
So many things have been said that are completely wrong, but I forgot them all. So, because everyone kept talking, I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
He was
I'm
talking
mixed up.
about Protoss all-ins.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Okay, try to
Okay.
help.
Protoss all-ins are really good against Zerg, and you should do them against Zerg.
But what about Terran?
Just- if you
It's
play
also
as
good.
macro, you're more likely going to lose. Just
Yeah, I mean,
saying.
I totally understand that. Yeah.
And
Uh,
just because you play macro doesn't mean you're gonna improve as a player. That
You'll probably get worse.
prove at losing.
I
guess-
disagree.
that's right. Yes, it will help you somewhat. It depends how you play it though. If you are multitasking a lot, doing a lot of drops, doing all that shit, then yeah, you're gonna improve. But if you're just sitting there making an army, you actually become lazy and just stop playing as hard as you actually could. Because you're just making units and not doing anything with them.
Look
But
at my 5 Colossus. Look at
Yeah, I
them.
think the
I've
mistake
spent
that people
15
make
minutes making these.
is that macro means that you're getting better when you can macro. Like in a long macro game, like people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting better. I can actually macro really hard."
I have
But
90
really,
pros,
like
and
you're
I'm
just
doing
getting
that.
better at macro. You're not necessarily getting better. So you need to be able to balance it out and kind of.
Well, I
if
mean-
the metagame is that you're doing all ins versus a
I
certain
think,
race,
I
then
think what Imarine is trying to say is that when he's playing the macro game, he thinks like, you know, when he's doing all these things on the map, it's not just that he's macroing, it's that he feels like the longer you're playing the game, the more you're going to improve at it.
Yeah,
No, no,
that's-
like macro play
but
has
you're-
had for the longest time the stigma that it is like quote unquote the correct way to play, and it's gone
Yeah,
to the
that's
point
what I was
like it's gone to
Not
the
in Heart of
extreme
the
where
Swarm.
people are playing. It's not macro play anymore. It's like greed play. It's like a lot of people, because I try to teach macro mechanics in my tutorials and whatever. And a lot of people post my videos and they're like, "Oh, I have a lot of trouble beating this. I can't beat that." You know, if he has a million tanks at his front, like, what do I do? And like the point, like, if you're playing Terran, like, you should be out on the map all the time and being aggressive and taking advantage of opportunities presented to you, right? Playing macro and having good mechanics means like you're taking extra bases behind stuff and all that, but you're still being aggressive and you're still attacking and you're still trading units all over the place and you're still being active on the map. Playing macro is not sitting in your base till you have 200 supply with 3/3 upgrades.
Can I
And
say
it's-
something?
People, yeah, go ahead.
To all the people who are bronze, silver, gold,
Keep
platinum,
going,
diamond, whatever.
masters.
If you really want to improve at the game and you don't give a shit about your league, you should play Terran. Just saying, it requires the most skill at lower leagues by far. It also helps you, force you to multitask because you're doing more drops. You have to split units more. You're not just A moving compared to other races in lower leagues. But
If you want to get better at multitasking, play Terran.
if you
The
want to,
mechanics are quite difficult in the lower leagues doing it at the same time, so I guess that's a fair point. Yeah.
if you
Plus,
want
you just
shit
became
given
my
to you-
favorite player.
In the whole world.
all the
Protoss
Terran
player
players in the world
If-
just came.
if
They're like,
if
all right,
you want shit just given to you, play Protoss. In lower leagues, the mechanics are very easy to start with, but you're gonna have a hellhole when you're in Grandmasters. I'm just saying.
When you're in Grandmasters.
It does.
Zerg is never easy.
Because you're just gonna get there.
Just
If you're a
hard
Protoss,
I
you're just
really-
gonna get there.
I really think it's a lot easier if you're really good to win if you're Terran over Zerg and Protoss. It's at the
Yeah, no,
highest level.
this is the hard part about playing Terran at the not highest level is that you see all these Terran players who can do all these ridiculous things, and you're like, how do they do? I play the same race, and it doesn't look like I'm playing the same race as these guys.
Well, you
It's like,
yeah, you
how
try
do
to
they
rip
do
off
this?
like a high level Terran build, and then you play a bunch. You like your first game, you just get destroyed and
Your
absolutely
first
raped.
10
And you're
games
like, well, I
you
don't,
get destroyed.
I
Because
don't,
you're like
I don't know
50
like,
supply
how that
behind
build-
where they are at
Yeah,
12
you
minutes.
you're like that felt pretty good. I felt like I was doing everything. I had no money. Like I was attacking. Then you go back and you watch either the replay or the VOD of whatever you had, and you're just like 50 supply behind, and he's dropping like 1,800 places that
Switching
you
back
never
to
even
Protoss.
yeah,
went
but
there,
unless
and
you're-
it's like, hmm.
Yeah, I really feel like unless you're watching VODs of people's streams or VODs of just like ladder matches or just like custom games that two pros are playing together, like if you're watching somebody who's been, let's say like, this is just my theory, so tell me if I'm wrong here, Puck, but if you're watching, let's say like, I don't know, the Muslim play against Idra,
Yeah.
I don't know. They have builds that they know that they want to do when they get into the game. They're like, okay, it's this map, so I'm going to do this build because this guy likes to do this. When you're playing on ladder, you don't know who that guy is. Like it's fucking
It's barcode level 30, number 4.
exactly. You're like, I don't know who this guy is. Whatever. So I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna go hatch first. Well, you don't know that this guy is cheesy as fuck, and he's gonna do fucking 6-pool because why not? I'm like, okay, well I went hatch first, so it's a lot harder to hold it. Okay, and I lost. Like, how do I hold a 6-pool as hatch first? You go watch. Okay, I figured it out. So it happens again, and you can hold it. But with all these different like strategies you go into a game with, like I know that there was one where Nani was playing Flash, and he did. It was the first time I saw it where he did the 2 in each gas. So they were concerned he was taking both gases. They're like, oh, he took 2 in each gas. And then I went on ladder like later on in the day, and there was Protoss doing that against me as Zerg, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing 2 in each gas? That does absolutely nothing for you. Like, you're not rushing any tech. You don't have a perfect timing. Like, just watching someone go into a game in like a tournament setting where they have the exact build, they know exactly what it's going to do against this specific player. It's all situational. You can't just go out and like decide that this is the best build for you against this race because it won't work 100% of the time. Like, you need to
I-
practice different situations.
I honestly think builds don't matter at all to improvement. At all. Until you're at these masters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
when
very
you're
true.
masters, the difference between mid and high masters is builds. But until then,
Yeah.
it's all about your.
But like
what-
even then, the builds are somewhat not relevant in masters even. As long as you
No,
playing
it's
too
mechanics.
much.
I came to
and
Masters
control.
with only Marines. Like, all I knew how to do was make Marines, make Medivacs, and I was top 8 Masters. this season or last season.
What
So-
a lot of people don't realize that this game is based off of hand-eye coordination. It's mostly based off of that, and then it just has muscle memory with your left hand. The more you play, the muscle memory just comes. It comes easily. Hand-eye coordination, you actually have to practice. You literally have to
That's
practice.
why you gotta play Osu.
Yeah, I actually strongly suggest that. If you want
Wait,
to improve,
what the hell is Osu?
Play Terran and Osu, and you'll get to Masters. You've heard it here first. Also make Marines.
I've been told that like twice in the past 2 days.
Well, it's
Once
probably
by Puck,
done
and I
by
think it was
Huck.
once
Hey,
by.
Fuck it, Osu.
Yeah, Puck has been advocating this for a little bit.
I
So,
really
yeah,
think Osu will help players a lot. Like, for me, it helped me get from Diamond to Masters in like a week. And I started in Bronze. Right?
Me too,
it took
buddy. Me too.
Me too.
It took me 1 month to get Masters, and it took me 6 months to get Grandmasters. And I did this by playing Osu and completely focusing my accuracy with my clicks.
I tried.
that's
I
just-
tried to play that game, and it just did not end
Just-
well.
And if you can do that, you will become a much faster player. Because
what
then
what
you
is
don't-
your DPI right now, Puck? Like,
It's,
what are you
uh,
using on your mouse? What kind of sensitivity are you like all
3500.
over the place? Oh, you
Jesus
are.
Christ!
Do you even move your
Jesus.
mouse? Do you just
Not
like
really.
blow on it a little bit and move it across the screen? I don't.
I don't even.
I want to see I just want to see your mouse hand while you're playing.
It doesn't move
You
much.
see that video of Sase? Like they released that FP VOD of Sase playing like a PVZ, and like his during that big engagement. Holy crap! It was unbelievable. He was everywhere. It's just like, oh shit! Like watching the pros play, like especially when they were like Caldor was releasing all those FP VODs during the Code
It's
qualifier.
like, you are actually fucking slow, NA player, because
I was like, what is this? What is
I'd
happening?
like to see a first-person VOD of like somebody like Goody.
Oh no.
Oh, we've seen those. It's like
That'd be legitimately like. 'Cause obviously, he's a way better player than me, but it would be pretty funny to see
Oh, apparently
like how
Jay
deliberate he is with everything.
Oh, yeah,
Jay
by the
Hoon's
way, guys,
computer crashed trying to
Jay's
download
computer
Osu.
crashed. Yeah, he tried to download Osu and his computer crashed. So he'll be back on in a minute to him. So I wouldn't change the
Look what
the
you've
overlay
done,
quite yet.
Puck.
Damn.
No, it's fine.
It's live production, all right. Keeping it high right here. So
Yeah, I
Osu
kind of
and
agree
Terran.
with that. I agree with the point that like builders aren't that important with like Zerg and Terran, but I think as Protoss, like you can't just not get a crisp like timing on your Robo or your Colossus bait.
Well,
You
you're
can't-
not crisp where you'd be
I-
at Master Jam.
I completely
That's
disagree.
Ghost
I
Rider,
could
but
do
that's not a
almost
it's
any
not a
build.
shot.
I could do almost any build and win. Just
Well, I
by-
mean, like so let's say hypothetically, Zerg
Mass
goes
entry to
for,
Masters.
like Zerg goes for whatever build, 3 hatches, and he just goes a lot of Hydras, and like you completely forgot your Colossus base, so you can't make Colossus.
Okay,
I mean, at that
that's a
point,
difference between like
That's
having
just being
game sense
retarded.
and not having a build. There's
well,
a
I mean, like
difference
if you
between
forget
those.
your Colossus Bay by even a minute, and they go
That's
like
not
a
a
lot of
build
Hydras,
order mistake. That's a I didn't scout the Hydra's mistake.
well, you always get a Colossus Bay regardless.
It's also not a build. But yeah, I mean, it's more like if you don't have like I'm gonna go 7-gate Zealot and recall off the third base into Colossus every game, and you're like, how can I scout him in order to counter it? Sure, maybe as Protoss that's not always the best way to play, but that'll get you if you know how to defend attacks inefficiently. Like if I'm trying to take a third base now, and this is like all the ways Zerg knows how to kill it. No longer do you think, how do I kill it with this build? But more like, what are all my options for defending against a certain attack? Like, do I have to go Colossus to defend Mass Roach? Or can I get, like, Blink Stalkers out and defend it while I'm going for Templar or something like that? I know these are a lot of different situations, but it's more developing your game sense and your decision-making. If you don't go into the build, it's kind of like a blank canvas then, to get really, really metaphorical. No, I don't want to do that.
You should just like
Look at these happy little force fields. Like
you should
Yeah, we got
honestly
Bob
just
Ross
be.
up this bitch.
This is gonna sound like nobody really talks about this, but you should honestly just be playing with like what units and what race you find fun,
yeah,
and
that's
trying to win games all the way to like You can get all the way to mid master, high master, just like using units.
I went Mutalisk
basically.
for like 100 games in a row at one point last season, just because I wanted to, and it worked out just fine. Like if you find little ways you can use units that you didn't think you could use them. It's like I didn't know Mutalisk would beat Mass Archon Storm Blinkstalker, but now I do.
It does.
Well, a lot of
It does.
yeah, like, you can just use
Let's
whatever
be
you
fair.
want.
Red
That's
Masters
like,
NA it does. Not
yeah,
me.
like an example of what Puck was talking about was when he went like mass sentry and just raped tombs. And, like sentries are like pretty terrible
hallucinated more
at
sentries.
combat. And
Well-
he like just he just attacked him with like mass sentry. And, like that should
And killed units with
I'm
force
sure-
fields.
yeah, and I'm like a mid-master Terran, and I'm pretty sure that Puck would destroy me with mass sentry. So it's like you can just make whatever you want. That's fun.
I'm not sure what Puck did that game, but I'm sure Puck took a lot of liberties with how many bases you had. So I don't think Mass Sentry would work as long as you put on early pressure.
I feel
Right?
like this isn't
I
a strategy we
completely
should go in
disagree.
depth about.
Because I thought you and
Yeah.
Tomb had like a
down.
no rush 20 agreement.
It wouldn't
you
have
know?
mattered.
I'm pretty sure if Tumesa learned how to use drop play, it would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously, there's like it's playing off the fear and the fact that Puck knows Tomb's probably never going to attack him because he's scared.
Shit, it's
Um,
fuck, I can't attack into that. Like,
yeah, that's part of it, but like just use whatever units you find fun and get used to them, and you'll figure out like specific build orders are not super important at all. Because you'll never, you don't.
unless you're GSL Code S, they don't matter. Or Code
Exactly.
A.
And
Yeah.
those
That-
are
that
only
was my
used-
whole point.
half the
That's kinda
time
what
that's used to
started-
metagame your opponent. So it's like,
Exactly. Like that
what's
was
the
whole
quickest
point of what
build I
was
can get
talking about.
something he won't expect?
I don't think
It's
build
okay to
orders-
like I want to make this clear too. It's okay to like look at like something a professional player does and go like that looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna try that, and to start kind of playing like that. Yeah, but you're not like you should never be relying on your build order.
I don't think build orders are important in terms of actual build orders, but I think optimizing in terms of making sure that when you have a building that you're actually using it early game, and then you're not just letting your thing
That's
sit
not.
there.
Well, that's not necessarily for every race. That's not necessarily true. Sometimes, like with Terran, you want to make like 4, 5, 6 barracks while you're making another command center. You might not be using them right away, or I mean, you're making your first barracks, but you're not using it. So you
No,
can
but
make
you're making it in anticipation. That's different. I'm talking about in the first 10 minutes of the game. When you're making production, you don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
have you don't want to just
95% of
let
the time.
yeah, you have to be using that stuff. That's what I meant in terms of build orders are important. Is when you're making stuff, make sure that it's being used. Don't get supply blocked. If you have an engineering bay, you're getting your upgrades. You're
Yeah, but I
constantly
mean that's still
making
not a
stuff.
build order. I mean that's just
Yeah.
mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's
Building
how,
the
like,
buildings and in any random order is not a build order. Just and
if you
saying that
find,
I'm
like,
gonna
a-
use them.
Yeah, if you find like just like a build order that you like and you practice, that's just like relatively standard or relatively safe play, or it gives you the units that you want to use, like that's fine. It's not really the build order that's giving you the wins, right? At a certain point, your mechanics have to carry through it, and you shouldn't measure your play on build orders. Like if you're struggling in a matchup. Until you get to like the really high levels, like there's probably a lot of other things you're doing wrong that aren't necessarily your build order. Unless you're like playing Protoss and you just don't get detection against Terran or something, like that's just being stupid. But
Yeah, all right. Like here's what I don't know if you guys can see this, but these are notes I was taking on Code S and ZVZ.
Hold
The
them
way
up, will you hold them up?
Monitor's
is-
bleeding a little bit, but
Yeah,
This is
we-
Curious versus Sue. Well, I'll just kind of read them off. I mean, I have some specific timings. Like, I'll take one timings that no matter what happens in a game, as long as there's not like an early cheese weapon, like take 2 gas at 520 or something like that. But mostly I'm saying like scouted Roach Warren made an infestation pit or something like that. Or your opponent took a third base while you were droning,
So
went
you're
for an
being
attack
smart.
or shit like that.
So
I
you're
can't-
doing is instead of just blindly copying build orders, you're saying, well, the pro saw
you
this.
think about
and he's
what they
reacting
saw
like
and
this.
how they're reacting, and that improves decision making. That might not improve my mechanics. My mechanics come with practice. That comes with just playing more games. But if you understand the decisions that players are making, that's much more important than do I have 4 barracks at 8:30 or are they at 8:40? Like, as long as you're not
Yeah,
getting
that's
supply
not that
blocked,
deal.
yeah, it's more about understanding decisions, and then everything else just comes through trial and error. So. That just about sums it up with
Well.
build orders.
Usu
Uh.
crashed my computer.
I'll be right
Sorry.
back, guys.
But yeah, I'm a pretty big proponent. Like, I do coaching. I do probably recently I've been doing like 5 to 8 hours of coaching a week, sometimes more. Usually what I start out with, because I'm usually doing coaching between like gold and low masters players. Usually just start out with like watching them play a straight up game, not watching them like do their build. I'm like, just play a. I use the term macro game. I know I shouldn't, but I use the term macro game so I can see. And then you just look at their decisions. And then what I do, I just like give them a strategy. I'm like, this is how you get to Marine tank or whatever easily. And then that just, as long as you give a player something like a strategy or a game plan to go for, you can't really think. You don't go for a third base at this time, or you don't go for an attack at this time. You go for an attack when you scout they're expanding or something like that. And that's the most important mindset to have, is understanding. That's why playing random has helped I'm sure my mechanics suck with most of the races, but just I get by on my decision making. Like, I know as a Zerg player he wants to drone right now, so even if I attack him with barely any units, he's going to be thrown off his game, and I can just retreat with my Medivacs or something like that. So that's what's really important. So.
I got you.
I don't know. I don't know if Puck wants to agree or pick me apart here. Just kind of.
If I wanted to, I'd pick you apart pretty hard.
Well,
But
pick me apart then. I suck. Okay.
the way I think about coaching is, first I'll ask the person I'm coaching, do you want to just advance leagues really fast, or do you actually want to improve at the game? And the way I go about that is, if they actually want to improve at the game, I'll help them with a build. Like, they'll do their build, I'll teach them how to do it better, but I'll actually teach them how to practice doing it. Like, how to actually practice to improve at the game. But if they just want to, like, advance leagues really quickly or get to the next league, I'll just be like, well, fuck, do this build and do it well. And just be like, yay!
Yeah, I think the first player I ever coached was a bronze Protoss player. He was just very like started playing the game like 2 days before, and I said, "Here's the 4 gate, do it," and he got to gold in 2 days. It was so funny.
It's. I don't have much to add there. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, there are builds that will win, and then there are builds that develop your decision making, and they do some of the time in the lower leagues. They kind of exclude winning when you're developing your decision making. I know it sounds really cheesy, not in the StarCraft sense, but in the normal sense, to say like, do you want to win or do you want to get better? But honestly, that's pretty true a lot of the time. You have to put the games and you have to put the time in. Like, trying to practice a new build, you're not going to win a lot of the time. You're not going to win just because the build's good. You're going to win because you know how to use it better.
Well, now we have a sanctum in unranked where we can just practice builds and stuff like that.
I get
I don't
GMs
even know
more
why
unranked
people
than I get
bother
unranked.
playing unranked.
Yeah, neither do I.
It takes because some people actually feel ladder pressure, and I understand why they do it. It's just
Yeah, for lower
No,
leaguers, I think
here's
it's really
the thing.
helpful.
You literally make it worse. You literally just make it worse.
Yeah,
If you go,
unranked
well,
just-
these games are important, I'm going to play unranked because I'm trying to learn now.
Uh-huh.
You just made all your ladder games worse. You may as well just play ladder and not care.
Yeah, I
Like,
play with
left
my
3
feet
games in a
on
row last
unranked,
night,
and
so it's
I
like, I
win
don't want to play
games.
PvP.
I kind of have to
I
disagree
really
because
don't
for lower league players that are really scared, like they have the ladder anxiety, I think unranked allows
No.
them to play StarCraft
No,
more.
not even gonna let you finish that. Hold on.
You don't think
That
so?
no, that is like the worst thing that you can do. Like if you're afraid of the ladder, to avoid the ladder is just
By
gonna make
not
it worse.
laddering even more?
It just so now you're not gonna ladder.
It puts that
So
much
it's-
more weight.
Oh my
So,
god,
it lets
who's
them-
that guy in the shades? I don't recognize
Oh
him.
shit! Oh wait
Everyone
a
do
second.
it. Everyone do it.
I don't have-
Are you
Jeff's a
sponsored by
trendsetter.
Monster?
do I have shades? I have to
Everyone
go
do it.
find shades.
Everyone do it.
Hey, what are you doing? Oh god damn
Everyone
it.
has to do
I
it.
feel left out right now.
God damn it.
I'm too
Oh
white
my
for this
God.
anyway.
I have to get.
I'm whiter than you.
Oh.
Are we all getting shades?
Yeah,
Who's,
that's what everyone do it.
Can I just turn my webcam
on.
brightness down and we'll count it?
No. I don't
No.
know what you just said, but no. There we go. That's how we do it. I got the Ray Bans.
Nice.
Hold on, I gotta do it. Hold on.
Well, all right. I'm just gonna have to switch into my picture then because
Because he has sunglasses on. Perfect.
I'll be back in like 1 sec, but I just want to throw it because there's a few people mentioning like the unranked thing in chat too. Like at the end of the day, like your MMR is the important stat. So if you go like try something new and you lose like 10 games in a row, if you can, when you go back, you're gonna be playing people theoretically worse than you anyway, and your MMR is just gonna go right back to where it's supposed to be. Same with your points. Like your points will go back to where they're
True.
supposed to be.
The problem
Anybody,
with
you
unranked-
can literally just go into your account, lose like 30 games, and like intentionally just leave 30 games in a row, and start playing ranked again, and you just go right back to where you're supposed to be. So like, there's literally no reason to be afraid of ranked play.
Well, I mean, very true,
Agreed,
but I
but with-
think the unranked play helps expand like the community because there's a lot of players that probably aren't like they're bronze or whatever, and they're so scared to ladder that unranked
It's a
helps them play
gateway.
StarCraft
But they're never
more.
gonna. They're never
And-
gonna ladder.
No, hold on,
Yeah,
hold
but
on.
then they're
The
gonna like
unranked-
they're gonna
unranked-
assume it's
Hold on,
serious
hold
business.
on. Damn.
play people
Look.
better and worse
And
than
so
you.
then they play unranked for a while, and then they're like, well, you know what, ladder isn't that scary, so then I'll play ranked, and it sort of just eases them into ranked play.
No, I don't believe
So
so,
it's-
because
Yeah,
there was
that's-
never a penalty.
Definitely believe so.
There's never
A
a
lot of
penalty there.
people are playing on ranked now and aren't as anxious as they were in Wings Liberty about ladder anxiety.
But they'll never
Well,
switch over to the
giving
ladder.
up.
I play with
Good
my
night, switch to
feed
the-
I
on
think-
ranked.
Is
and
that
I'm
a-
with
is that a
you.
problem? Oh my God.
Hey. All right. Everybody, if
He
you're
is
gonna
Canadian,
talk
guys.
one at a time, all right? Because it's
Raise your
busting my
hands.
ears. This ain't my show, but Toom, you gotta jump on this
Okay.
shit when people are getting out of hand.
We're not doing
I-
it Fox News style. Everybody just talk over each other.
I think that the unranked is good for people that want to practice off ladder. So if they are trying new builds and such, they can go there without the fear of not only losing their ladder points, but the fact is not everybody has friends to do customs with, or their friends are on the same time. So I agree with iMarine to an extent that some people are using it as a way of going, okay, ladder's a bit intense for me. I'm going to go on unranked and maybe I'll build some confidence and then, hey, maybe I will ladder. But I think the majority of the people are probably using it. I know I would use it specifically for practice.
Correct.
Can I
the
add
only,
something
the only
to that?
reason. Yeah, go right ahead, Puck. Since you asked.
The only reason the on-ranked was even added in the first place was for the casual gamer.
Yeah.
It has, if someone's
Exactly.
gonna play
It's not a
competitive,
problem.
they'll go play the other ladder. If they really like the game and they see a future for it with them, they'll play the ranked ladder. But overall, it's designed for people who just want to play the game and have fun.
And that's not a problem. That's how LoL
Yeah.
develops its ridiculously massive fan base. You think everyone there
That's
thinks they're going to
free.
go pro? Well, this is
Probably.
part
They
of
do a pretty
it.
good
As long as
job
they
of
can right
selling
click,
that.
yeah.
The way
As long
the
as
way
they
everybody
right-click
acts
it,
in League of Legends, they all think they're going pro. Apparently,
Yeah.
Well,
all
they
wear
already
the
all
same
Riot
pro.
does
side.
like Riot does a really good job of selling the idea that everybody has a chance to go pro in that game. They sell that to everybody that plays that game. So you
Yeah.
have like tryhards and like bronze that think they're like every game I play hard, so I don't mean
Well,
tryhard in a negative way.
I'm
But you have
bronze,
people in bronze that are like, they think they're the best, and they think like their whole team is holding them back because they're going to be the next like Dyrus, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
They do a
Yeah,
great
with
job of
selling
selling
with-
that.
with
that
unranked-
selling the kids the dream. Hey, look
With
at you!
pretty
You can
much.
have 20,000 people watching you on Twitch TV and make $1,000 a day in ads. But hey,
Is that legit?
all you have to do is stay on my game and buy lots of skins and raid a whole lot. And one day you'll have a Twitch TV account with 20,000 viewers and $1,000 a day. Go for it.
Yeah, the only reason
It's
I'm
definitely-
not a fan of unranked in StarCraft, and this is specifically to people that do it so they can practice new builds or practice like things like that, is that when you play unranked, you don't play people anywhere near the same level as you every single time. It's not like playing ladder where let's say your MMR drops a little bit and you're playing someone who's statistically a little bit worse than you, or you win 10 games in a row and now you're playing people that, let's say you just happen to get lucky 10 times. I don't know, whatever.
Have you actually
But-
tested that out?
Yeah. No, I'm not even kidding.
Are
I
you
played a
sure?
bronze.
'Cause
I'm
it
in
is-
diamond.
it
No,
is
I
play
played-
bronze players.
I played
on
unranked for like 3 days. No, I.
Yeah, you play unranked and you get like
If you're not-
anybody
yeah, if
from
your
anything.
MMR is not super,
You
super
play on the
high,
same ladder,
right.
so you're playing people that like you can get matched up against somebody who's playing a ranked game, but you can't get matched up against somebody, or you less likely to get matched up against somebody that's in the same division or like the same league. So let's say I don't know, Jeff starts playing unranked, he's in Masters, he could start playing me, I'm in Diamond. Like, there's
Or
no...
worse, it'll be
there's
platinum,
no-
silvers. It's random.
It's completely random. It's just, like, just go. You're going to play somebody who's also playing unranked.
I
There's
have
no
another
MMR
question,
system to it.
How
You
many
can
of
play
you
people that are playing ranked.
how many of you enjoyed falling behind, then finding ways to come back by sneaking bases, having mass cannons, and all that shit? Like, I don't think it's that big of a problem because people actually do enjoy the concept of coming back in the game to win it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah,
So-
everyone loves the underdog. Yeah, like, you're like, oh, fuck, I just lost... I'm on 3 base, and I lost my natural and my third. Somehow I held this off, and I got to re-expand.
Shrine,
This guy's
go.
an idiot.
Wait, how is this relevant to
Exactly,
unranked?
Dark
I-
Shrine,
I mean-
go.
Yeah, no, that's not like related. I don't know. For me, like if I feel
It's
like,
like-
I'm probably out of the game, I usually just leave it because I don't want to.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone really
Practice.
enjoys.
I've grinded enough of those out, but I'm tired of trying to fight like the uphill battle a lot of times. It's like I'd rather just start a fresh game. I can identify my like huge mistake that cost me the game or the problem or whatever, and then I'll just be like, all right, cool, I'll move on and play a new game and
I will
try
work
not to
for
make
the
this mistake
tie.
again.
I don't think
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
anyone
know. I
actually-
see. I see some.
Says the
I
Terran.
see
All the
pain
orbitals.
user on like
I
14
will-
supply to the other guy's like 190, and he's still like trying to micro a drop and like sneak a base somewhere. Some people
Marine
just have a
King
different.
got there
mentality
for a
about it.
reason, okay?
Yeah, but I mean, you can always tell when somebody is just like playing to have fun or playing to win. And by playing to win, I mean like playing to win, like whatever you want to call it. Like they're so set on winning the game, or more so that you lose the game, that like this happens more often than not more often than any other race
Terran.
with Terran, where they just float their base. They're like, "Fuck you, okay, I'm just gonna
And they
float my base."
micro
in the
them.
Well,
corner."
I think
They
that's
micro
because
them.
I think
Monty
that's
did
because
that the other
turn
day.
players have the option. of
Exactly, and
floating
I'm just saying that's because of the race. It's nothing to do with the person. It's just the race. So, playing to do things like that, where you play to win, you're like, okay, I'm gonna play, and if I
Right.
get too far behind, or if you know what, it's just I lost my whole army. Even though I have a bank, I can't rebuild fast enough. So you know what, this guy played well. GG, I'm out. I made a mistake. And then you have the
I
people
find-
that, like you
Can-
said, they're just gonna
I
go.
find Terrans
and,
in general the most BM in
Yeah.
general. I don't
Same.
know why.
Zerg, man.
No, no, no. It's
Zerg.
And I
definitely
think
true.
It's always
because I think it's the mules. I think what the
Oh, I
mules
love
do is
those
it like
mules. I love them.
they you know you always see them. They're just dick moves. I don't know if Terran. I don't know if Terran does it to be like, yeah, I beat you, bitch. Now look at me. I'm just gonna float down these, fucking all these OP mules. I can collect a bajillion
Dance
minerals
them.
at once, and I could just go to,
Dance.
or they just do it as like a victory. Like, yeah,
Look at how
they
much
just,
extra
it's
money
like
I got
they're
in the
having an
bank.
orgasm. Like,
Hey, I have a really important question. Do you all think parents come up with the most retarded usernames?
No, I think
They're
they're all
all-
great.
Let's
they're all great. No, I'm gonna
name-
go with they're pretty
name
random.
5, Puck. Name 5. that you think are the most
Your
retarded.
daddy, let me log on and look at last year's.
That wasn't
GM.
him picking one. That
I
was
wanna-
him saying
I wanna-
your dad.
Just stop. Let me
It was
provide-
actually your dad. I don't think you understood.
Tuminous and Pie.
Whatever, that's a good username. Tumesenpai is the best username there is.
What does two-messant even mean? I don't remember.
Do
It's
you remember?
okay.
Do you
Get
remember
out
what?
of the dictionary.
Okay. This
Hi,
is
do you remember what the first thing you told me that your name meant?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I asked you. I was like, "Hey, so what does tumescent pi mean?" He's like, "Well, tumescent is
Swollen?
actually the swollen
went
when
into
your
the
penis
long
swells, the blood
Ew.
that comes
Ah,
into the penis
damn
when
it.
it swells." That's what you told me your name, and I was like, "Oh, tumescent
says
pie.
it.
That sounds
It's-
delicious." He's like, "Well, tumescent actually means that," and I'm like, "Oh well."
You're like,
Ew,
no,
you're
it still
better off
sounds
just-
delicious.
It still sounds delicious.
Wait,
Eat
is
it.
that true?
Naming yourself Taint.
I just linked it.
Go,
Name yourself
Okay.
Tane.
go, fucking dictionary. Go, go, go. I hear Google is a thing.
Nah, dude? I had somebody ask me what Google was.
Yo,
before.
you're telling a bunch of Protoss players to go like look something up and do work.
Listen, Maximus Black is the boss's name of all time. All right.
I find it very difficult to
Weren't you
read
a
any.
Zerg
10 out of
player?
10. Maximus Black, 2013.
I was actually gonna ask.
I would
next-
like to get somebody else to make like Maximus White. And see
Oh,
how
I've
that
already.
wins.
I'm
oh,
already did
I've
that.
ran into those.
And
on
not in
ladder.
like a trolley way. Not a trolley way.
I've
I've
ran
already
into
done that. Wait.
Maximus
I looked up the
Whites many
definition.
times.
Toom wasn't kidding. That's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
I like
Kinda.
how your sunglasses. It's like, indeed
any
it
time.
is.
No, I'm reading my second monitor because I can't read. I don't have my
Phoenix.
actual glasses on.
Phoenix.
wait.
Everyone,
Sir.
just stop. Phoenix,
Sir.
lower your voice right now.
You want me to do the fake Idra voice?
Yes.
Fake Idra voice.
Fucking Protoss is so overpowered. This game is bullshit.
Yes.
Sit
I
here
need
and-
to remove him off the Skype thing so he can't see. Or just
No,
pretend
just
with
put a
I'll
picture of
just do
Idra
this.
there.
I'll
Just
do
put a
this.
picture of Idra there.
Yeah, this game
Do
is
it.
Hold on. Let me get this up here.
Let's get in the moment.
Idra,
now.
and then you can put a
Wait.
post on Reddit. Idra on Saturday Night Pie live right now. Everybody go in, and then
You can't laugh though. Every time I laugh, you'll know.
you can just cut up David Kim for like 2 hours.
Would Idra's like ability to improve and get like 1 million upvotes for no reason counteract Tumes and Pie's downvote magnetism?
What was Idra's new his latest? I heard he fucking went off on somebody about something.
God,
Or,
Muslim.
no,
He told,
He went off
he
on
told
someone.
someone
Stop.
that something
Stop.
really bad should happen
Why
to
are we
them,
doing this?
and like they should get cancer or something. It was something like
Oh.
that.
Yeah, no, it was one of those.
Why are we talking about Idra and what he does?
well,
Because it's-
Idra is actually my favorite StarCraft 2 player.
Of all
So-
time. No, Maximus Black.
What the hell is going on?
Stop it.
I'm not.
Oh shit! I gotta live with that for 6
Okay,
days.
hold on.
This is really off
Wait,
topic.
just let it. Let it hold on.
I gotta live
What are
with
we
that for
laughing
6
at?
days.
Oh shit!
I'm fucked.
What are we laughing at?
Open the stream.
What, the picture of Idra?
All right. Maximus Black. I'm gonna let you finish, but wait, is your name actually just because you're black?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. How
That's-
my name happened was one of my favorite movies of all time. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite
Like top
is
5.
Gladiator.
Called it.
Okay.
Obviously.
Gladiator, Russell Crowe. All right, so Maximus is in there, and I used to use Maximus all the time for all my usernames, but then I would have like Maximus like 123 or something because you can never get like Maximus. And then when I decided to, when eventually when those didn't happen, and when I started going on Xbox Live and stuff like that, I used to use Maximus, and at the end I just put Black because I'm the Black Maximus.
Is it because you're black?
It was symbolic,
It was some.
and it just stuck.
That story moved me. All right.
Thank you.
I was thoroughly entertained by that story. I'll have you know.
Still have no idea why everyone was laughing so hard.
Lower your
Calm
voice
down.
again.
Someone's laughing so hard.
You just don't understand r/StarCraft, do you?
At least like his name makes sense. The only thing that was funny is the Muslim and how
Okay, I
often
don't
he has to
understand
tell the story behind his name.
Demu
I-
Slim.
Oh, is that actually? God damn it, Puck.
What is that laugh?
Just laugh.
What the fuck?
Why is everyone laughing?
I'm
I just-
so
Guys,
confused.
What the fuck is going on
I'm laughing
here?
at,
Oh
I'm
my
laughing at Puck's
God.
laugh.
What the fuck?
what the?
What? The
I,
oh, I take this
Quick,
sunglasses
everybody
off.
go watch Desro losing 1,000 point raise to Widow Mines. Go!
the panda is laughing. I kind of just want to imagine the red panda. But
Andrew, what you guys louder?
Okay, wait. So Jeff, when is your boot camp? When does that start? What day?
Monday.
Puck will be here Monday.
oh, is that
you're
happening?
doing Puck?
Oh, I don't know this is a thing. I did not know that was a
What's
thing.
going on here?
They've only
Oh.
been talking about it for like the last like 8 months.
Yes.
But, you know.
Oh,
Puck
I've-
Puck-
It's like
Puck
80
is
times
flying and living with me for 6 days, and I get to listen to that laugh for 6 days.
Oh well, you should probably
Sometimes
just
you
be
stream.
40% better at Protoss then. That's 6
I mean,
gates. then, right?
I was trying to set that up with a friend of mine to stay at his house and basically have him coach Park me, but it didn't work out in the end. 'cause
No one
his
can
wife
coach
was-
Park. All right, only Coach
Even
Park
if
can
Coach
coach
Park did help you out, you'd still be fucking trash.
Park.
God, Idra,
So BM.
so be him.
It's only funny 'cause it's true.
That Idra picture. He's always got that fucking look on his face, man.
Yeah.
It's like that guy in high school you just want to fucking smack, you know? It's like he's just got that look like, look at me, you know? But
Did you guys see that picture? Did you see that picture of LZ Gamer and Idra in 2007 earlier today?
With the long
Oh
hair.
my god, yeah, with
That
the
was
long,
awesome.
it was so perfect. I was like, Idra looks happy. What is this? Oh my god.
I love
looks
Idra
like-
though.
Yeah, no,
Idra's awesome. I don't care. He gets a lot of hate, but I stand behind him.
Not a
He
bad
speaks
thing.
his mind, and I like that. And you know what? StarCraft and esports and sports in general, they all need villains. And he, he just
Wow.
fits the role
He's the
nicely.
hero we
I
need
feel like
right
he's-
now.
I feel like he's going mentally insane from playing this game. Like,
Well,
It's
EG is
staring
pro-
at me.
marketing it
Hey, Jeff,
correctly then.
does that kind of look like Panic?
It kind of does look like Panic.
Hey, what's your thought on Terran, Idra?
Oh my God, that's Idra.
yeah, that's Idra.
Please take down that picture.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking bullshit.
That's LZ Gamer and Idra together.
Dead
aware.
hair.
Photo.
What were we
My take
talking
on
about?
Terran- My take on Terran is that they're fucking bullshit and the race is just garbage. Fucking
I
stupid.
apologize.
Says the Zerg player.
It's just racist.
Can't
I have
argue.
one word for you,
Shit.
Zerg. Ultras.
Ultras are fucking
Ultralists
garbage.
are the answer to everything now.
Zerg is garbage. This game is fucking stupid.
Did you get,
Fucking laugh.
I literally can't wait till boot camp. I just can't wait.
it's gonna be so
I can't
good.
wait.
You gotta stream 24 hours to
can't.
that boot camp.
Oh, fuck.
It's gonna be just a loop of Puck's laugh for
Give me the
6
fucking
days.
strength needed.
What the
What? I just saw feed. I don't want to see feed.
I saw like I just
I just saw some taint on Fox's webcam.
oh fuck.
What does Puck's parents say right now? Like, are they in the bedroom? Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on?
I haven't left.
This show always turns into this.
Yeah, it just
This
evolves
is what
into
happens when
this.
Puck comes on.
God
Yeah,
damn
we
it,
just
Puck.
changed the name to like Laugh Times with Puck. It's just 2 hours of.
Oh my
It's like one of those things. You know, when you're with your friends and you're like, all right, first person who laughs loses, and you just stare at each other. You just stare at each
Puck
other,
pops out of
and then
nowhere.
eventually one guy just goes. That's Puck.
Except he doesn't even try to hide it. He just goes for it.
Wow.
God damn.
This just reminds me of being in school when you're not supposed to be laughing, nothing's funny, and you're sat in the corner
Yeah, you're doing like the
trying to
fucking-
hold it in, and there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it.
I don't know about
Eventually
you guys.
start laughing. Teacher's like, "What's so funny?" It's like I
I'm not allowed
No
to
idea.
laugh. That's what's so
I
funny.
couldn't fucking tell you.
Puck, I think Puck is laughing at my laugh, and I'm laughing at his laugh. So it's a cycle that goes on forever.
Everyone's just laughing.
No, dude. Last week when we did this, I fucking almost died because we watched Desro lose 1,000,000 Void Rays to Widow Mines, and I swear to
Oh.
God, I hadn't laughed that long in ever. I don't think. Because once I heard Puck go hysterical, I lost it, and then it just didn't stop, and then everybody was laughing, and it was GG.
Alright, I should go so I can actually sleep, so I don't like keep laughing. So I
Oh
can,
man.
like good tomorrow with Shoutcraft. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, good luck, man.
Best of luck.
Oh yeah,
When
good
does
luck.
that start? When does that? Is
luck,
it
man.
live?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometime tomorrow.
Sometime tomorrow. So you should wake up sometime tomorrow in order to be
Yeah,
up for that.
it starts 2 p.m. Eastern. So
All
they
right.
got
Well,
6 shows.
Good
Alright,
luck.
okay.
Own it up.
I'm sure that's seconded by everyone here. Oh wait, Puck's gone.
Fuck Shotcraft.
Close enough.
Fuck
Okay.
Shotcraft.
Bye bye.
Bye, Puck.
He will be missed.
Definitely.
Now where's our professional opinion?
I think we
Yeah,
have to
maybe.
take a little
Where the
break,
fuck
guys.
do you think I am?
I think we need a breather.
I thought we were gonna try to actually end this before it became 5 hours again.
Yeah, I think we're
yeah,
at like the
Toom.
2 hour mark. So I think
Yeah,
this is
Toom, why
probably
don't
a
you
good
like
time.
control your show and
Hey,
God
do
damn
manner
it!
up!
I'm sorry, that was probably
Fucking
pretty
manner
bad.
up.
Damn it, Imarine, manner up.
Dude just throws like
no,
everybody
he's
in here like
texting.
it's a stir fry.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to my normal voice now. But Toom, what we should do the same thing we did last night and just get like 5 or 6 people and just do fucking team games and shit because that was actually a good time.
No, I'm going
we
to
should do that.
4v4 mono battles. Wait, do
I'm
we have
gonna-
to
do
do
it.
it?
I'm going to 2v1 my bed right now. So I will see everybody tomorrow.
All right,
All right,
buddy.
have a good night, man.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.
see you later.
See ya. GG.
Nice,
So we can
nice.
officially end it.
I
Yeah,
love how
I
your
think we're
stream
gonna-
doubled the
On from that
numbers
point?
as soon as I became
I don't know
fake
what's going
Idra.
on.
That was pretty good.
Toom,
What?
make the call.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
jump
it.
in and
So,
I
guys,
mean, like,
shout out.
that was a metaphor.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Round.
I'm so tired right now. I slept for like 4 hours after that crazy stream yesterday, so.
Don't worry, we can continue
my
this
full,
on
like,
mine
eating.
and streams and whoever else streams in this call.
Yeah, with beer and broskies. That was pretty fun. So anyway, shout outs from anybody who wants to give a shout out, and then I'm going to bed.
I'll do mine because I want to catch the end of the hockey game. So, because there's like 19 people in the call, my webcam wouldn't work for the call, so I'm the box in the top right, but I'm FilterSC. You can catch me on twitch.tv/FilterSC. I stream a lot of Terran games. That being said, probably tomorrow, I'm probably just going to stream like 12 hours straight of Protoss and just cheese and see how high I can get.
Grandmasters, probably.
I think that's going to be a plan. Yeah, I bet I can get better than my Terran.
yeah,
But,
probably.
You
I
could,
think so.
but you're gonna hit a
Protoss
ceiling.
is-
I bet I can get higher than Imarine.
You
How
might
many
have to
points
take a
do you have?
shower after.
I want to
I-
give
I have,
a
like,
hey.
Imarine's only
I
at,
will
like,
get burnt down by.
I got a
an
shout
asshole.
out. I want to just give a
Yeah.
shout out to my mom and dad for having sex and making me, and I love you, mom.
Eddie hung up the call. That was beautiful.
That was
Well played.
that was good.
That was.
Wait, was Filter done? I don't think we were. Okay, we were.
Yeah,
we
Filter-
BMM
I don't.
Protoss.
I don't really have
Filter-
anything else to play.
All right,
Um,
I'll go next
that's
because I want
basically
to. I'm Winter. I'm a top 8 Masters random player last season and this season. I'm mostly playing a lot of Terran right now. Here's my stream. I'm putting it out in the chat. Twitch.tv/ZeoFreebird. I'm a mod in Tomb's chat. Also Twitter, Facebook, YouTube /Winter StarCraft. I'll probably be streaming after this. I don't know what we're doing, but I'll probably be streaming. It doesn't really matter. So check that out. Who's next?
I'll go.
I'll go.
I'm tired. No, I'm going. No, I'm going.
Okay.
So yeah, so you guys, thank you for tuning in and watching us here. We always try to have a good time. I guess we're gonna do this every Saturday since it's Saturday Night Pie. But my name's Phoenix
I
SD.
see what you did
I was one doing the Idra impression because apparently I sound like him when I talk in a certain way. It wasn't really Idra, so don't go and start trying to get him to fucking come on this thing again because he actually wasn't here. But I will catch you guys later. See you.
Alright, can I go or anyone else?
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
go.
Alright, I'm Jaehoon. I'm kind of new to this stream business. I just joined Quantic and kind of want to get big. I'll post my link down here. I play with my feet mostly 80% of the times, and
Wait, what?
yeah, I play unranked with my feet, and I kind of look like I'm giving a birth, but it's pretty fun to watch. So if you want to come and join my stream, I stream from 6:30 to 10:30 EST, and Virginia Tech. Yeah, that's it.
BU. Ah, fuck.
Like we give a shit.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Marine. If you haven't already seen my stream, I'll put my stream in the chat. It's twitch.tv/IMarineTV. I stream
mid Master Protoss gameplay on Twitch, and I try to commentate all my decisions, etc. I would not come to my stream if you're looking for PvZ help, because I do not know how to play that matchup. And that's about it. You can follow me on Twitter and all those things. It's all iCrane TV, so I definitely appreciate it.
Awesome.
I guess it's my turn. It's that time of night again. Alright, anyway, guys, my name is Shock Fox. I play under Fox. I'm a Masters Terran player in North America. I'm Platinum in Korea, so I should be hitting Grandmasters in NA anytime soon. But unfortunately, I'm going to be streaming after this, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be commentating because yesterday I put my roommate in the hospital, so he's kind of resting right now, so I'm not going to be able to talk while I'm streaming, but I'm going to be streaming the games with some good music.
What happened with your...
Short
What
version.
did you do to your
Short
roommate?
version.
What?
All right, here's the short version. I'm almost 300 pounds of almost pure muscle, and I'm 6'6", and so my roommate is like 5'4" and really
Oh, wow.
short. Yeah, so he went for and he's black, so we fist bumped, right? And I was like, no, that's not enough, man. We got a chest bump, right? So we chest bump him, and he goes flying about 15 feet into a closet, slams his head on the corner, and he had like a huge gash straight down to his skull, right in the middle of his forehead. So I had to take him to the hospital. It was a fun night. We were there until about 2 in the morning. So yeah, so I'm gonna be streaming, but there's not gonna be that much commentary. Sorry.
So you're basically a murderer, almost.
Oh yeah.
Practically.
God damn. Wow.
Alright, Marine, your turn, I guess.
No, I've
He already
gone.
went.
Is there
Everybody
Oh,
else
we're
is gone.
I
I think
that's-
everybody's done.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think we're all good, right?
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
so
Okay, we're good.
thanks for watching.
Thanks-
You guys
thanks,
have
Jim.
a great night, and
Have a good
See
night, man.
everyone later.
we'll see you next week.
This was fun.
Have a good night, everyone.